And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Will English Invitational. My name is Will English IV, and this is going to be one of the best Tier 3 Overwatch tournaments in existence, I can dare say the world. I'm proud to welcome to you to the broadcast, Tropic Theory and Waffles. How are you guys doing tonight?
Well, I am so stoked to be here. Oh, sorry, Tropic.
Go for it.
But like we said, we are so excited to be here. I'm honestly thrilled to see what type of Overwatch is going to be brought to the table today and the high level of competition that we are going to see performed not just today, but over the entire weekend.
Yes. So, go ahead.
Pretty much the same over there, what Sid said. I have been waiting for this. Super excited for probably a month. I have a team in here as well. And just plenty of teams that we've scrimmed that I know the managers for. Are just so much talent that I'm just fortunate enough to be able to broadcast it. So just thrilled all around today.
Yeah, I mean, like, your team got lucky, though. The false appearance void got a bye based on luck, though. So just to do a quick recap, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us today, this is the start of our group stage. We have our first match, which is going to be Empyrean versus Bird Society, and I believe it's Bird Society Chickadee as their team. We did our draw show yesterday, and we picked all of our 40-plus teams into the bracket, and so we're down on the NA side to 30. We had a couple teams drop, but that's okay. Like I said, false appearance void did get a bye yesterday, along with Lo-Fi Abe. They got a bye in the Group D stage. But that doesn't matter. What matters is our first match coming up here, so we're going to kick this thing off. But either way, no matter what happens, good luck to all the teams playing. And we've got a $1,000 prize pool on the line, sponsored in part by Ignite.gg. Eloy Esports is coming in this broadcast as well to help pick us with some of the stats. We've got Landlords Gaming. We got a whole other broadcast going on as well with Landlords Gaming, and we've got a bunch of other stuff and Overwatch Tranquility as well. But either way, I'm so happy that you two are here. And listen, I want you guys to do your thing, do your professional jobs, and get right into this. So take us on to this first match. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that phenomenal pass off. We are going to get started and get ready for our upcoming match. Like he mentioned, we have Chickadees facing off against Empyrean, and our first map is going to be the ever fun control style type of map at Busan. So Tropic, of course, Busan has a lot of different map sets you can choose for this control map. What do you think we might see today, or specifically from either of these teams?
Well, this is a T3, tournament, and we're going to see some high level of output coming in for our Overwatch gameplay today. Chickadees, they were top 32 in our previous OD, just last, I believe, February. And then Empyrean, they've been around, 4.4K team. A lot of good stuff coming in for this game. And then, like you said, Sid, Busan, lots of different map terrain, and we could see a variety of comps coming in. Mecha base, really close map where we're going to see a lot more of that brawl coming in. Maybe probably some Rhine Diva or Rhine Zarya, depending on the team's choice and preferences. Sanctuary might see some double bubble coming in, as well as Night Market coming in. So we can see some variations of them, and I think that's the most exciting part, is seeing we can have meta, but we also have teams that deviate a little bit, and that's always fun to see.
Totally. And I'm absolutely ready to see what they're going to bring to the table as well. One of the benefits of control is most of them have very different map types across the board. So we do get to indulge in different team comps from round to round versus maybe something more static that we might experience. But All in all, I'm super stoked, Tropic. Looks like Chickadee here already going to go with the Rhine and a May McCree. That would be great to see roll through.
It looks like we're going pretty much same for same comps coming in here. And, it's all these control maps. There's not a spawn advantage for either side. So it's about creating and setting up yourself for that success and making that advantage for your team. So we're definitely going to see, hopefully, some picks and some walls coming out from both Maze and McCree's coming up from both sides.
Opening up, we see Chickadee moving forward here around this left side, closer to the point, taking up a more defensive position with the point at their back, to be honest. All in all, Empyrean pushing forward as Chickadee retreats to the high ground, and the wall comes through. Both walls are up. One is broken much quicker than the other, and the IMO is committed for Empyrean already, right after Society of Chickadee has theirs removed from the equation, and now they're hurting back Empyrean. With Jimmy's out of the picture, it is tough for them to hold this point, and, well, as it unlocks Tropic, they go ahead and take possession.
Yeah, that was a great control coming in from Chickadees, playing it very patient and forcing Empyrean to kite back and then really engaging and quickly engaging on that. And here it is, the window coming in to continue this control point for Chickadees.
Kill goes on to Jimmy's here to open up the fight, and, well, after losing your main tank, Tropic, it's going to have to be a reset for Empyrean as Chickadee continues to hold possession.
It is going to be a rough time coming in with losing your main tank, but, I like the fact that Empyrean's quickly resetting, really recognizing that these control maps are very fast-paced, or we have to get re-engaging quickly. They have ultimates coming in, like very great space creation ultimates, as the window pops off with that damage amplification.
Definitely mitigated a lot by that May wall coming out from Chickadee, and, well, ZZY, also known as Sleepy, getting aggressive here on that May. He's got the Blizzard, and this could be a tide turner for their team to take control of the point, but they're waiting for their opportunity. There it is, they've jumped down, and now she's gotten aggressive. High Noon is popped in response to their aggression and doesn't find anything. Oh my goodness, she doesn't get the Blizzard off in time. She gets stunned out of it and then taken down. Ragnarok getting a kill with his own High Noon, but a lot of members of Chickadee here get caught up and continuing to press their assault onto Empyrean. It's looking really good for them as they now have 75% Tropic.
75%. We are being forced into last fight territory right now, and this stagger coming in from Tekka is going to be devastating as we have to get that diva back in. But you know what? Empyrean has these ultimates that can definitely be win conditioning ultimates coming in. Jimmy's and Taneka have to be able to get this bomb shatter off to be able to succeed in this potentially cap this point.
Well, Jimmy's has been taken down first a couple of times, so it's good to see that he is actually hanging around. Oh! They weren't able to get on the objective. Oh man.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's a bummer here to
and
kick
after
off
that
the
bomb.
Round. I know. Ugh, man.
But,
I mean, maybe that was the, oh, you didn't touch the point, so we didn't dodge a bomb. You know how that goes?
I mean, Chickadees were doing a really great job at really continuing to stall out that point, even with Empyrean getting those picks that, was given that green light. Unfortunately, Empyrean just kept poking a little bit too much instead of getting that, full regroup in, and Chickadees just continued to control that point. But you know what? New map, new time, so we definitely have enough time to get it to that 1-to-1 coming in here. A little bit of a different comp coming in too, Sid.
I know, I'm excited to see Empyrean here roll out this Widowmaker. I'm sure RBM is going to have that damage boost on. And also RBM stands for right button mouse, so that damage boost coming up probably really big for him. There is his pocket onto Ragnarok already. Oh, he gets chipped down though, gonna have to be careful. And he is looking for that pick to really help Empyrean open up the fight. So far, it's just a little bit of back and forth as the point has unlocked. They are, Sleepy is holding a presence here, trying to prevent it from being fully capped by Chickadee, but Chickadee holding strong. Now they're getting aggressive as they move forward. Diva almost falling down for Empyrean, but manages to fly above and get those heals. Jimmy's taken down. He is the first person to go down, and, well, after that, Chickadee knows they have it in the bag as Empyrean goes to reset.
Yeah, definitely another reset coming in, as Empyrean is playing this poke variation of the comp where Jimmy's is a really important player to be in that field to really provide that backline chaos to enable the team and Ragnarok to be able to get those picks that we need. But Chickadees are doing a really great job at protecting the team from all of these angles that Empyrean's trying to poke at.
Wow, Tempt already has 8 eliminations on that McCree as well. No wonder that High Noon is already almost online. Chickadees, though, continuing to hold strong on the point. Empyrean just doing that poke damage as, well, the dance around the drum has commenced. There's the High Noon getting popped, and, well, everybody has cowered away from Empyrean. No one wants to be caught out of position. Not found, thankfully. Tracer able to get away by the skin of her teeth, and, well, now they are on the point. The pulse bomb's ready, and there it is, stuck. Big pick coming out onto Skirt, and, well, that is the door opening for Empyrean to push this W key and try to get aggressive and take the point in their possession. Unfortunately, they lost both their tanks. Oh man, after that, they don't have the manpower to hold and try to take that.
Oh man, Chickadees is just having such a strong defense coming in, even though, we had some players down coming in, especially, Skirt coming in with that pulse bomb. We are changing it up for Empyrean, going to a May variation for Sleepy, which hopefully will be able to provide a little bit more damage coming in for the combats. We are going full brawl coming in for this last fight territory here.
Oh, and Skirt chasing Tempt as well on the front of eliminations. He's been putting in some great work, and, well, Jimmy's getting aggressive here. Ragnarok gets the first pick. Once again, Empyrean does get the first kill, but it's all about the follow-up remaining. Oh, Jimmy's goes down, and that's going to be rough. The Earth Shatter is nasty as overtime has been triggered, but all in all, Empyrean is falling one after another, and after that, clear out Tropic. It is going to be a cap and a map win for Bird Society Chickadee.
Whew, yeah. Congratulations, Chickadees, on your first map win. We're going to be coming into King's Row after this, but wow. It really seemed that Empyrean was really struggling at taking apart this strong defensive brawl comp that Chickadees had. Even though they had those picks, Ragnarok always having that first pick coming in, it just wasn't enough because of that defense side. It seemed like there was more of a target focus issue coming in on the Empyrean side, as the hills. I don't think they died once coming in from the Chickadee side.
I'm not sure either, to be honest. And I have to say, Chickadees really had their eye on Jimmy's. Poor Jimmy's was going down first for a lot of those fights, and he wasn't quite getting the support he needed to either sustain through. And also good on Chickadees for mowing down one of the big tank players that holds a lot of the space for Empyrean. It's much more difficult to push after you lose someone so crucial. And when they're running that bunker style, well, it's like a brawl with the May. Once you're set up, it feels a little more bunkery when you have to run into the enemy every time. But I think the utilization of that wall definitely threw a lot of kinks in the pathing plan of Empyrean.
No, certainly, especially on that Sanctuary map. Coming in, Jimmy's, that poke variation of a comp is all about getting those angles, setting up your kill boxes, and with Jimmy's down, really taking out that piece of the puzzle to carry the chaos in the back line. A little hard to get space and create space that you need to enable these DPS. But you know what? We love the Widow. Maybe we will see that lovely first initial Widow pick coming on our King's Row map.
I mean, Kings Row definitely won for the Widows, at least for the opening. Looks like we are going to be doing more of a McCree May, so hitting up that M squared side. But all in all, I gotta say, shout out to Will for picking some solid maps that we're going to be casting for the day. None of those other shabbier ones. Everybody loves King's Row, and, well, this is where the best action is. Gates are opening. Empyrean gonna hold here around back behind the statue, getting some initial poke damage to charge those ultimates, of course, when they can. Chickadee moving around forward, and, well, both walls have come up. There is the assault coming through, and it's really gonna be who gets the first kill. Both immortality fields have been deleted from the opposing teams, and, oh, there's the other one. My apologies. after that, it is gone. And well, now we have evened up. No one's been taken down out of the equation yet. It's still a lot of back and forth. Oh, Jimmy's is the first person to go down once again. Poor guy gets focused down by Chickadees. And well, after that, they continue mowing down the members of Empyrean one after another.
Oh man, yeah, that Chickadees came in with the force, and Skirt already having that ultimate coming in, and Jimmy's only at that 50% mark. Just the damage output and the support coming in, and Zetsubu with that DM has just been really strong with their composition, and I love the fact that they're taking space already to avoid that underside of the payload, which could be a really hard area for teams to get past. Window comes out, yeah.
Yeah, taking space is extremely important, especially when you know you're going to have to be moving into the enemy's defensive setup. High Noon has been popped by both sides, and well, this is a zoning High Noon coming out from both of them. It definitely relieves pressure here, and well, yeah, no one wants to be a part of a High Noon. Not even when I'm playing Overwatch, I definitely agree. Reinhardt's still getting aggressive, and oh, Sleepy got caught in the corner and is taken down by Zetsubo. Now it is all in Chickadees' favor as they can continue pressing their assault here into Empyrean. Empyrean's continuing to back off, and well, Skirt taking that space, and with Chaotic's Blizzard online Tropic, I don't know if Empyrean's going to be able to have a really solid stall. There's going to be a lot on Taneka to either pretty much eat this Blizzard. Oh, when it happened! Holy smokes, Taneka absolutely clutch. Unfortunately, Chickadee coming out big on the kill feed though, and well, Hawkwaffle does go ahead and commit that sound barrier to reinforce his team, even though the denial from Taneka was absolutely massive on that. They just couldn't quite turn around after all of Chickadee's other resources were thrown.
Oh my god, I know. What an E coming in, and Chickadee's already taking space, but the good thing is Empyrean has the spawn advantage coming into this point, and we have ultimates to really deny the space and hopefully really break the momentum that Chickadees has right now as the bomb comes out, and a pick comes from that. That will definitely force Bird Society or Chickadees to definitely reset. But coming up, Sid, there's quite a bit of ults that can definitely turn this around, especially 5 minutes already on the clock. Whew. Empyrean's definitely going to have, some work to do with just burning down time to hopefully stall this out to further.
Thankfully, that spawn advantage is on their side, and well, it's going to be about making sure you don't use too many resources when you defend, although you have to throw it, otherwise you might lose the point. It's a tough decision that these guys are in, and with Chickadee being so aggressive on the assault, oh man, it is looking rough for Empyrean. The good pick comes out from Sleepy, and another two, that making it a hat trick for him here on this most recent push. He's finally taken out of the picture, but all in all, Empyrean has the advantage, and they may not have all of the numbers, but I guarantee you when they regroup from the spawn coming back, they're going to be able to push Chickadees back. There it is. Yep.
Yeah, definitely going to be reset coming in from Chickadees, but you know what? Chickadees have these game win conditioning ults that can definitely win this or take this third point if they use it correctly. Chaotic with that Blizz and Zetsubo with the bomb. Great combination coming in. RBM, we got to get that beat up, and Hanabe has to be able to look around for that immort. But here it is, all the ults coming in.
Oh, this bomb, huge right deadly. There, taking out Ragnarok in the back, and also with the D-Mech as a bonus. Looking great for Chickadee as they continue to take down members of Empyrean. They pretty much felt like dominoes after that first opening pick, and with the cart continuing to roll forward, no one's going to be able to touch. There it is, a 3:26 left in the time bank for Chickadee as they complete the first 3 points here of King's Row.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Chickadee is just really coming in strong right now and really showcasing to the remainder of our teams in the Invitational that they are a team to look out for right now. Sid, that time bank coming in, that right there is forcing Empyrean for their own win condition. You know, now they have to get 3 points as well as some time to hopefully get that second push for themselves already, or as well.
326 is a lot in the time bank too, so they're going to have to be quite aggressive if they want to even try to match the time bank. Or looks like Empyrean actually has a DC. So folks, we are going to be taking a quick pause here. Definitely going to bring them back online. We don't want anyone to, miss out on any of the fun or have anything unbalanced. The good news, Tropic, is that this pause came right before the round started. So there's not going to be any ult economy lost or really any questions about where this fight was going, right?
No, that's so true.
Pause in a better place than it could have been. But all in all, I'm excited to see what Empyrean's going to do. They're really going to have to pick up that defense, and Chickadees has been pressing that W nonstop. I hope they're ready.
Honestly, yeah, they right now Empyrean, I think we have to do a little bit more of a target focus on trying to get those backline healers right now. Just seeing the attack coming in from Chickadees and how much support Skirt is getting as a main tank. That is a very aggressive main tank, and his supports you can just tell that they have played with him to where they're able to heal him throughout all of the the aggression that they're pressing that W key.
Yeah, I'm sure they are healing and their heart's beating quick. We've been there, right, where I'm like, okay, so choosing to continue pressing W when we are at 20% health, 15% health. Oh, thank you for putting up your shield and letting me heal you up a bit. But of course, these are much higher ranking teams, and these guys know when to back off and when it's time to give a little space to lull the enemy into your trap, and then boom, pincer, pounce, done.
And honestly, the sustain and kiting coming out from the Chickadees side, because we've seen Empyrean coming in with these ultimates and ready to take that fight, but Chickadees doing a great job at sustaining, staying alive, and Lifeline and Hawk Waffle just always having that beat ready or that immortality ready to cover and continue to sustain the team, which is exactly what you need for that strong defense.
Yeah, and Sleepy here back in the game probably had to just wipe the sleep out of his eyes a little bit more after the first round. Now he's really ready to fight here on King's Row as, well, Empyrean getting aggressive and moving around. Oh, Sleepy's actually the first one to go down. Sorry for the caster curse, my friend. And Jimmy's follows after. They did manage to take down Skirt, so Empyrean has a spawn advantage and a little bit of a window here. Oh, but Hawk Waffle going back for the tank to bring him much faster and back into the fight.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to take advantage of Jimmy's being back, but no, Skirt's back already.
Wow, good thing Hawk Waffle is there looking out for his team, and the wall comes through. It takes down Temp, though. Temp's the one to fall after that. I was surprised after all the focus on the Rhine, and, well, thankfully Taneka DMs her own Reinhardt, keeping him alive. Walls have been thrown from the maze, and there's the Amp Matrix coming out from Lifeline. Oh, it is Empyrean, though, all in the kill feed as they continue pressing their assault. Sleepy is putting in work onto Chickadee here as Empyrean is capping the point, and they've solidified themselves there. Tropic, really great job, and with 2:44 on the clock still.
2:44 on the clock. Doesn't look like we'll be able to touch for Chickadees, but they are already setting up to deny the space that, Empyrean's going to want to take right now as soon as they cap this point. Looks like they're potentially going to have them fight under that choke area, which is a rough choke area to hold sometimes and continue engaging on. So I'm looking to see Jimmy's get a big shatter or Ragnarok get some picks. Just the use of the ultimates to hopefully get a team wipe and push us out of this underpass right here.
High Noon getting popped by Tempt, and there it is, the kill onto Hanbei afterwards. A shatter comes through, everybody was caught, and it's going to be the Reinhardt that goes down. Chickadees, though, still filling the kill feed as they are flipping this fight into their favor, and will clean it up after that. Tropic.
Whew, you know what? If I was Empyrean, I would not mind that. Team reset. We still have 4:15 on the clock and all the ults in the world to use in this fight right now. Chickadees recognizes that they used quite a bit of ults, and they are going back and pushing and waiting on this corner to now utilize these next set of ults coming in. But that's where we're going to see RBM and Hanbei have quite a bit on their shoulders as we have to sustain from this... From those ults, but what a pick coming in from Sleepy that'll continue this engagement.
Oh, and this time it is Zetsubo's turn. She goes ahead and eats the blizzard herself this time, and goes ahead and tops it off with a kill from her self-destruct. The other one is thrown from Empyrean, finding a kill itself, and Empyrean getting aggressive and continuing to push forward. They've taken down Skirt, and they have the numbers advantage as they need to focus fire and take down the remaining members contesting the point here. D.Va finally getting demeched, and Ragnarok bringing up the end and mowing down poor Hawk Waffle here before he can escape. Empyrean pushing the cart, Tropic, and probably going to have another chance to re-engage Chickadee just before it touches the end.
Whew, and we just saw some of Taneka's stats, and they're doing so much for their team right now. That damage block from the DM is just enabling the team to continue to succeed to this second point. And this, if they lost this point, that would have been really rough since they would have been denied that spawn advantage. But you know what, Sid? They have a great time bank coming in, just sub 430, which they can definitely create that time bank that Chickadees has as well.
Ultimates are thrown left and right, and all in all, it is Chaotic who does find Jimmy's here as the opening pick. It is Chaos still on the point as the Ant Matrix is being utilized by Chickadees, and the dodge of the self-destruct from Taneka is successful. After that, Empyrean going ahead and retreating back as they've lost one of their tanks and gonna get ready for another solid push.
I think that's a great idea that they're coming back. They have these ultimates that can definitely take this point, especially with Sleepy's Blizzard. But you know what, folks? We have a quick pause. It looks like Sleepy needed to wipe his eyes another time. Unfortunately, it probably is a DC, so we will be right back with that. But right now, Sid, Empyrean has created a really great time bank for them. And they can definitely take that third point with definitely some time.
Yeah, the one thing I do find that is a bummer for Empyrean is that literally right before the DC happened, you were talking about Sleepy's Blizzard.
Yeah.
And how that was going to be something that is a great door opener for them to push forward, right? Blizzard's we all know the benefits of the zoning and the slowing and whatnot. And now that has been removed, I wonder what Empyrean is going to do to have to adapt and essentially recalculate their game plan of this most recent push, because they'll have to wait for him to come back, which will be a few extra seconds. Mm-hmm. No Blizzard. That is a really rough disconnect. I feel for you, man.
You make a valid point, Sid. Especially since, having a pause like that mid-fight is also a mentals game, but you know what? He is back, no ultimate, as Temp casts that Deadeye out and about.
Temp just zoning out here, stalling out more time for Chickadee, which nice as Sleepy's walking back as well. Empyrean needed a little bit of a break to get him back into the mix for them. Zetsubo's getting aggressive on this D.Va, but there it is, the Blizzard coming out from Chaotic. It's actually Chaotic who goes down after throwing their own Blizzard. RBM on that bloodthirsty support line as Jimmy's now pushing forward. Everybody's walled off, and now he's just gonna cleave into them a few times. Good block of the flashbang coming through, and now Empyrean continuing to press forward and get the kills in their favor. They've got the momentum now, Tropic, and they're looking good.
They have the momentum, they have the ults, especially with RBM having those defensive ults for Zetsubo's D.Va bomb coming up and Skirt's Shatter.
Ant Matrix popped for both sides there, and there's the Shatter thrown, doesn't find anything. RBM goes ahead and pops his sound barrier to reinforce Empyrean, and no kills are found from the self-destruct of Zetsubo. Ragnarok gets that pick in the back line, and he's getting pressured, and thankfully his teammates are there to continue helping him out. Baby D.Va is gonna go down, and now Empyrean is up. They're getting aggressive as one of the tanks have been removed from Chickadee's equation, and they know that they can continue moving forward. The Blizzard is online for Sleepy though, and with Zetsubo out, he can throw it. No, not yet. There it is. Blizzard is thrown, and poor Tempt is caught and taken down by his opposing McCree. Now Empyrean continuing to flood the kill feed here in their own favor as Zetsubo is doing their best to stall out as long as they can once again, getting bullied by the McCree's flashbang for the second time. And tough there as he's trying to escape. All in all, Empyrean doing a great job at continuing to push forward and take this point here to the third checkpoint. Now, finally, Empyrean does manage to complete the round here, going the distance for King's Row. Now, folks, it looks like my fellow co-caster, Miss Tropic Theory, did lose a little bit of her internet connection, so it'll just be me taking us for a ride here for a little bit. But I'm excited to see what these guys are going to bring. I'm really excited that Empyrean was able to take this map and go the distance and push it all the way to the 3rd checkpoint. We are going to get the chance to, really see if they've learned and they're adapting to what Chickadee's been bringing to the table. That offense was so much better than the defense we had seen from them on this 1st and 2nd point area. But especially for the 3rd, it seemed like they really started to find their rhythm. I know they have spawn advantage and it's a little bit easier to do that, but once they had that snowball momentum on their offense, they were, really rolling forward successfully and continuing to get the space and build the ultimates. They had Sleepy disconnect and they still came back to push it the distance. So these guys are here. They're definitely ready and, looking to stay competitive for this invitational. All in all, we are on the 4th round, though, so they got to leave it on the table if Empyrean wants to stay in this fight and in this tournament. Oh, Taneka falls super low there as the diva and, continuing to stay regrouped with their team. Immortality Field has been committed, but is deleted very quickly after that. Jimmy's goes down. Oh, the poor guy goes down first once again. And, Taneka now demeched and probably going to be stalled out and bullied here in the back. Nobody's even looking at them. And, taken down just before the remech is available. Chickadees filling the kill feed. And, Empyrean here doesn't really have a lot at their online for them. They're still charging their High Noon and Amp Matrix. So going into Chickadees, matching ultimates and the opposing Reinhardt here, who's got his very, very charged. And, there it is. That one Fire Strike just brought him up to it. And they're going to push into all of that. It'll be rough. Oh, but it's blocked. Completely blocked by Jimmy's huge out of there. Unfortunately, Tempt does take down Ragnarok, so Empyrean only 30 seconds left, going to have to make or break it if they want to push this and cap King's Row. A little bit of dancing here as they're waiting for their teammates to come back and some of their cooldowns to finish up, pushing around this right side of the statue once again. And, the wall is there to block off McCree's High Noon. Tempt finds Sleepy, though, through it all. And, and Ragnarok goes down as well. Hawkwaffle getting so bloodthirsty, forcing out the other sound barrier from RBM, and everybody is skirting around on the point here as Chickadee continues to hold strong for this 1st point of King's Row. So really nice job coming out from Chickadee. They successfully, held this without Empyrean being able to take any percentage or control of the 1st point. If Chickadee here can cap 1 tick of the 1st point, they will be the winners of this 1st map that we had. And after that, on the flip side, if they don't cap any of it, it will be a draw. And we will go to the next map of Rialto. So looking to see if Chickadee here is going to continue bringing that aggressiveness. Ooh, a Widowmaker for Chaotic. So maybe we're going to change it up a bit, folks. All right, got some stats here for Sleepy as well with 5 elims. So, coming in, and I wonder if that's also included with his DMs. He's been playing fantastic regardless of, those extra conditions he has to battle around, and his team does too. Everyone's getting aggressive here, and the pin is good from Skirt. There's the Immortality Field, though, thankfully keeping people alive, and they have to back up into it as well to keep themselves alive. Both Reinhardt's holding that front line, and you can see the maze just continuing to spray forward past their shield and try to freeze the opposing enemy. Ragnarok does manage to take down Lifeline, though, and with that opening and a punch to take down Zetsubo, a great defense here for Empyrean, not even giving up that 1 tick and, looking to continue staying in this fight. Chickadee here is going to have their Earth Shatter online. So Empyrean, it's going to be a lot on them to either try to dodge around it or just Jimmy's to straight up block it again. He did a great job last time, and it'll be a bit of a Rhine dance coming through. They are duking it out, and the Immortality Field has been committed. Skirt goes down, though, and Sleepy manages to take the kill after that. Now Empyrean has all the kills in their favor, and, well, quite frankly, they're going to have so many ultimates online, too, folks. It is going to be a heyday for them, and, well, hopefully they choose wisely on which ones they want to defend in what order. They still have 2 full minutes to burn down on the clock, but they've been doing an exceptional job so far at burning down the clock. Skirt does still have that Earth Shatter with Hawk Waffle's sound barrier. That could be a lot of aggression that comes through. Skirt stunned out of his Earth Shatter, completely denied there. Huge play coming through from Ragnarok, and after that, Empyrean getting aggressive. There is the freeze coming through from Chaotic, and Jimmy's thankfully is kept alive by that Immortality Field and the May wall from his own May. So they couldn't even get the damage into him. RBM getting bloodthirsty as that support. Jimmy's drops the Shatter, and after that, Empyrean continues to clean up the court here. Really nice job, and, well, it's already 1:13 left on the clock, folks. Chickadee did commit quite a few ultimates for that. They committed Blizzard, Shatter, and Sound Barrier. So a lot for them. And, well, Empyrean here also had to give a lot of resources. They've only got the Window and the High Noon to try to combat this. And leading early with the Window, good call there. Chickadee goes ahead and floods onto the point, trying to get past that window. Immortality Field's been committed for both teams now. Empyrean's now falling. Finally, Ragnarok coming up absolutely massive. But the Diva Bomb from Setsubo! Oh my gosh! Both back and forth, huge plays. Jimmy's, though, getting the cleanup kills onto the remaining members of Chickadee. Wow, what a huge carry play there from Ragnarok. Zetsubo was so close to having that turnaround in their favor. If that Diva Bomb had been just a little earlier, maybe would have been the results they were looking for. Chickadee's so aggressive on this point, and oh, it is Jimmy's alone here. He doesn't get taken down though. Focus Fire isn't there. He's got that Immortality Field, and oh, right at the very last minute is taken down with his Earth Shatter online. Now it's going to be about Empyrean staying alive and getting to use those resources. Hawkwaffle goes down with a huge bomb from Taneka coming through from Empyrean. Holy smokes, folks. Empyrean is here to play as they are not letting up from Chickadee, and they are going to push this map to a draw, folks, and bring us over to Rialto next. Nice play coming out from Empyrean, folks. Here's Jimmy's probably having a nice big ol' Reinhardt play. They really turned that around from especially the first control map where they were losing it 100% to 0. Fat Shatter from Jimmy's here, and honestly, I would argue that this is almost a completely different team than what we saw previously. But folks, before we head over to our next map of Rialto to see if Empyrean can turn this around and put themselves on the board here against Bird Society Chickadee, we're going to take a quick break. So we will be back, grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll see you on the other side. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Will English Invitational. Unfortunately, my previous co-caster had a little bit of internet problems, which we're all familiar with these days. And the Will English the Fourth himself has come in to help fill the void here and bring you the analysis of the games.
So I appreciate that.
For those of you just joining us, we did see our first map here on Busan. We saw Bird Society Chickadee come through pretty much just kind of stomp a little bit, right? It was like 100% to 0.
It was lopsided.
And then we move over to King's Row. And Empyrean says, we're here to play. And they actually go the distance for 4 rounds, bringing it to a draw. And Empyrean shaving off and just defending for hordes of time. So
never say die, right?
You're exactly right. And honestly, I'm really curious to see what they're gonna roll out for our Rialto map here. I am a big fan of Rialto as far as the, opening corner there where there's a lot of different angles to try to take advantage of, and the abuse of the high ground as the payloads just rolling underneath it. Definitely rough when you're on the attack on that.
Absolutely. And so just for reference, if Empyrean pulls this off and wins this map, there will be another control map going to be added to the other side of this. But we're going to drop into Rialto, and I'm curious to see, based on like Empyrean just coming back from the grave and just stalling out for that long length of time, what they're going to do in this particular map. What's going to change so they can get this map win and pull this to a map 4.
That, I think that Jimmy's here needs to be kept alive a little bit longer and maybe have a few more resources thrown at him. He's taken down very, very quickly, and Chickadees has been hard focusing him. They just have his number. And, it's rough without a main tank to defend your lines.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to do.
Ooh, Chickadees here. They're gonna continue running that Reinhardt Diva like we've seen, both sides do. Not any changes really coming out from the King's Row map. And, well, I wonder if we will see some hungry Divas again. We've already seen 2 Blizzards eaten.
Yeah.
Oh, so insane. I can't believe it happened right before I said it too. Great work coming out from both of them, and those bombs have been really, really deadly just in the back lines. Now the aggression's coming through, though. Empyrean making a lot of progress on the defensive end as they continue to herd Chickadee back. They've got this defense down.
Absolutely. It looks like Bird Society is just on the back foot a little bit here. They're just going to have to reset and try again. I'm not sure what there just seems to be a difference here. It just seems like Empyrean just decided to wake up, and this is the time to shine. I mean, they have a game to give here at least. So it's not like it's fatal if they lose here, but man, what a hero play coming in from Empyrean.
Yeah, and we actually do have a sub over on the Empyrean side. We have Miracle in on the May this time. So Sleepy has been taken out, and, well, now Miracle gets a chance to shine. Oh, he almost got taken down and blocks in the nick of time to keep himself in the cryo freeze. Jimmy's poor guy cornered out. Thankfully, that immortality field is there to keep him alive, and his team breaks the column in time for him to retreat back. Bird Society Chickadee still needs to push this payload, and it's going to be rough after RBM goes ahead and pops that sound barrier. The Blizzard does catch a few people, but not too much coming through from the kill feed to follow up on it. Mostly just mitigating and discouraging people there on that front. Taneka's got that Diva Bomb, and we've seen some big kills coming through. There it is, thrown right over the top. Oh, and nothing found. Huge picks, though, coming out from Tempt on Bird Society Chickadee's side. Holy smokes, he is, just flooding the kill feed, Will.
Absolutely. There was almost a T coming in. There was the high noon on the high ground as well that took out 3 members of Empyrean, and so now this payload is going to move forward. I mean, it looks like Bird Society has gotten their footing back, and they're just going to move forward. They're going to get close to this first point unless Empyrean wants to do the miracle stall and hold again.
It would be a very miracle stall with 3.48 meters left to have this car pushed. Chickadee falls on the ground. 5 out of 6 members caught in that earth shatter. The Diva Bomb is thrown in response, and Hanbei is caught in the back as well. They've gone back and forth, and the point has been successfully capped by Chickadee amidst all the mayhem, and now they're going to have the spawns they need to really continue pushing this card forward.
Absolutely. So Burst Society Chickadee will capture this first point and move forward here. It is looking like more of the same coming in from Burst Society, but Empyrean, do not count Empyrean out. It might be just needs to be that Empyrean needs to be on the back foot and get their team a little bit rallied up behind the fact that Burst Society is just moving forward here, and they're just going to keep going on the high ground here and just go right to this next fight.
Yeah, taking the fight head on and pretty much directly knocking antlers, for lack of a better statement, and these Reinhardts are just duking it out here in the middle. They're getting aggressive, continuing to move forward, and the Maywalls doing a great job at displacing and mitigating people as far as their orientation in for heals and to get back up from their team. The blizzard from Chaotic, though, is huge as poor Ragnarok gets frozen solid and taken down. Earthshatter's committed as well, and oh my goodness, Zetsubo gets another big blizzard eat. In the meantime, one more in his pocket.
Oh my god, the eat comes in clutch as well. But again, Burst Society seems to come on top of this fight. They cleared out it was almost a team kill on the side of Empyrean, but we also see Chaotic, so just 9 eliminations, 4 final blows, and just a lot of damage coming in. We're gonna go right back to this fight. Tempest gonna put the high neutral try to zone players out.
Points still being moved forward here, and there's the Diva Bomb pushed forward to pretty much seal the deal for Chickadee and their push. RBM doing a little bit of skating around, trying to stall out a bit more time, but all in all, it's going to be the Chickadees coming in the kill feed. Oh no, we did lose Hawk Waffle, unfortunately, there. So it looks like Chickadee is getting a little bit of a taste of what Empyrean was going through on King's Row. I don't know, Will. You think they're going to be able to hold as well as Empyrean did with that advantage?
I have no idea, but again, this is how this tournament's going to go. I mean, we're only in our first match, Waffles. We're only in our first match. We already have a draw. We already have like a team just coming from behind and just stalling it out, and so anything could happen. Like what I tell people is like, don't look at the SR numbers. Don't look at your competition. Just play your game. Play until play to win. Don't play to lose. Play to win. But in this particular case, I don't know. Like I said, anything could possibly happen. It looks like again that Bird Society Chickadee is just needed a little bit of warming up time to get back into the swing of things. They looked just not as dominant as the way we saw in the first map when it came out in their debut, but at the same time, and just like they are 2 points ahead, and Rialto is notoriously hard to finish. I just keep thinking about these escort maps where it's just like, man, like how difficult it is for that last mile, that last push. It's just where teams tend to stand firm. Because you have the spawn advantage. You're always going to have the ult advantage as well if you just stay calm. And both of these teams have players on them that can stand up as well. I mean, both Reinhardt players are just going absolutely insane. And then of course you have the divas as well. And I'm blanking on the player names at the moment, but I know the characters that they are.
Totally, yeah. And well, both of these divas have been, I mean, that's the second blizzard being eaten. So huge coming up for Chickadees and Zetsubo, of course. And, Tanaka also got their own blizzard eat. There's plenty more to potentially be on the table for them as well. And they've been doing great. They've got the heals they need. They're getting the resources. I do think that, like I said, I think Jimmy's needs to get a little more love on that front so he can stay in the fight a bit longer. But those Reinhardts, like you said, so aggressive here. And I'm really curious to see if Chickadees are going to be able to continue this, especially with the DC that comes through. Sure. Definitely a mental game. And it's both of these teams going through this is really going to show who can remain calm and who is actually the most, I dare say it, professional player in this type of high stress environment.
Yeah, it's definitely a mental game. But let's not count out the McCrees that were on this map as well. I mean, like they're just wrecking shop here. We have Tempt and Ragnarok as McCree and Rialto. I mean, look at the stats here. Like obviously Tempt has more eliminations, but like Ragnarok is not that far behind. Just Ragnarok dash, but 15 eliminations, 6 final blows, and almost 6,000 damage. I mean, just like if you were to talk about a team carry, that's just like that. You put your stock in Tempt in that particular scenario, though. But we just saw, even on the last map, even on King's Row, just coming in clutch with all the high noons and just like multiple kills every single time he pulls that out. So I mean, it definitely a recruit specialist, and I love it. I love seeing it because you have to. Some people don't want to protect their recruits. They just think they're like, okay, well, just the high noons, just the zoning method, or just an automatic reload. But hey, McCree can also do some damage and get some kills. So, I mean, I'm glad to see that at least there is some faith, at least in this meta. That could change anytime soon, but either way. So we're still in our disconnection phase right now. We're still trying to see if we can get this other player back into lobby here. So you have to see our bright shining faces for a little bit longer. But either way, I mean, man, what do you think so far, Waffles? It's just like what you've seen so far in 2 maps and a half here, right? It's like what do you think?
From my perspective, Empyrean has the goods to go toe-to-toe with Chickadees, but it seems like they aren't always regrouped quite enough to really dig their heels in solidly. And they go into these fights, and as soon as the Maywall comes up, it seems like there's just not quite the right amount of focus on the targets. There's a lot going in to try to keep them alive, but it goes both. You have to do both at the same time. And that's the tricky part of Overwatch, is balancing how aggressive you need to be to defeat the enemy while also being passive enough that you gain the support, or you're enabling your team to provide the support, right? Overwatch isn't necessarily about you popping off all the time.
Yes.
It's about how you can also enable others to pop off. And those unsung heroes are the ones that
make or break
the team. There you go. Yeah.
Make or break your team. I mean, like, again, Overwatch is a team game. It doesn't matter if you have an all-star DPS that can track people through walls. It doesn't matter if your support player can keep you alive the entire fight. It's a team game. You have all 6 members, and all 6 members have to work in unison to achieve the objectives. And so, I mean, but at the same time, you do want your superstars. You do know you have your teams, that are just going to go hot at any point, and you want to support them. You want to make sure that they are up front. So we're also going to see some of the Reinhardt play as well. So again, we're still paused. We're still have to see our shiny brighting faces, but we got some Reinhardt stats, ladies and gentlemen. Shout outs to Elo Hell Esports for supporting us through this and giving us the ability to do these stats for the broadcast. So we have Jimmy's and Skirt. And see, I was thinking of both of those players on Kings Row. We're going to talk about Rialto for a second here. 10 eliminations coming in from Skirt, and just even on damage blocked. So just protecting their teams as well. Jimmy's has a little bit more damage done, but again, your Reinhardt, although as a tank, is just there to absorb damage as well. The shield is extremely important, and so it's so nice that you can get some offense and some defense as well. So I mean, but I'm sure that the Earth Shatter, like I wish we had the Earth Shatter stat, because we saw that 5-person shatter back of the cart on point 2. I mean, it's just again, either player on the Reinhardt is just going to be a specialist and just can pop off at any moment.
Yeah, well, we also saw Jimmy's getting considerably more aggressive. He's been dying first here and there. And, well, the damage that he's getting done, though, is being effective here for his team. In the long game, is it always the right move? We'll have to see. Yeah. But I have to say, I'm really happy with these stats that we actually get. We get to compare them, like you said, thanks to Elo Hell. And facts don't lie.
No,
and when
numbers
you got
don't
the
lie.
Stats, that really backs up what these players are bringing to the table, and definitely shows us, a better benchmark of what's really happening behind the scenes. These aren't scrim codes where we get to see everybody's damage and deaths and kills and whatnot.
This is the real thing.
Exactly.
This is as real as it gets.
I like the fact that we can talk about these and show people these are the numbers happening.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're still in there's still a player disconnected, and we're doing our best to get that player into it. But let's talk about D.Va. Let's talk about that D.Va and all the eats and all the eliminations. Setsubo and Taneka. Now, mind you, I have to put some respect on Setsubo's name, because that's actually disparate Japanese. And I was trying to find the actual opposite word for hope, because anyway, that's just the anime weeping me. I'm just leaving it alone. But anyway, back to the game here. And Setsubo and Taneka, and then Steve and Rialto, we have 14 kills coming in from Setsubo, and a little bit more damage blocked, and of course, final blows 4. But again, it says it doesn't tell the story about what ults did they eat, how many missed opportunities that these ultimates have, that the death spell was just there, just right at the moment, just that, and also reading the players as well, just trying to see the play in advance. And then Taneka, a little less damage, less damage block, but no less important to their team. And so I mean, I'm just hoping that we can see more of their action as the weekend unfolds. But this I like what I see so far from both these players.
Yeah, you're right. And these stats don't encompass all of the behind the scenes things. And to be honest, it is super hard to find a way to show stats that are enabling of others, right? How do you talk about the assist, right?
No.
In a normal game, it would be an assist for traditional sports. And for Overwatch, it's easy to see when you have the, obvious grab thrown and then whoever wants to follow up with their ultimate, Genji, Doom, blah, 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 capitalizes on it. But what you don't see is when, you have your McCree flashbang someone right before, and then your Reinhardt is actually able to finish up on the shatter, right? Those are the small stats that we can't always track. It's super hard. You would have to have a massive amount of staff. And of course, that means a massive amount of bandwidth and funding to keep all that going.
Absolutely.
So there are definitely a lot of unsung things going on behind the scenes that, the tank players are a little underrated for. And D.Va's defense matrix, I mean, such a strong ability. Eat projectiles.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they've also patched where you can eat Sigma's gravitic flux now or whatever. But I
right,
forget,
the boulder.
Yeah. So it's just all encompassing. But I have a good authority that we might have our sixth player back in, so we don't have to solve for it for much longer. And again, thank you Waffles for coming on and sticking with me and for the audience for sticking with us. All 100 plus of you, crazy Overwatch fans watching us just babble on about random stuff while we're waiting for this match to get finished. But I'm hoping we're going to start soon, and we'll get back and finish this. Almost I would say it's exciting so far. I mean, Bird Society is in the lead, but that doesn't mean much. They still, Empyrean still have an attack phase to see if they can match their ranks here. But all being said, I'm just putting a personal bet to see if they finish the map. If they finish Rialto, I'll be extremely surprised. And here we go. We are back into the map, Waffles. And thank you all for sticking us through this whole technical pause. But here we go. Let's get back to the match.
Oh, Jimmy's there he is, taken down here. So hopping back into it, Chickadees has capped the second point on Rialto. 3:34 left on the time bank, which very solid, but honestly, Will, doesn't mean much compared to their last fight on King's Row with Empyrean.
Absolutely. So they captured the second point here. They're going to move forward. 3:22 in the time bank. Got plenty of time to get a couple fights in or whatever. Not a lot of ult advantage coming into this last quarter, but then I don't expect that for this fight. So we're just going to see. This is going to play forward and put the D.Va bomb right in their face, but just nothing for it.
Forcing Chickadees to move forward there after that, and their immortality field been committed. There's the high noon popped through the amp matrix, so a lot of damage coming through, and he doesn't have to wait as long to pull the trigger. Chickadees now continuing to herd Empyrean back into their spawn. Ragnarok gets the punch kill onto Lifeline though, so that's a good pick, but all in all, the point is slowly moving forward. Well, now quickly with three people.
There's no one here.
Yeah, Chickadee needs to, Empyrean needs to get on the point. Oh, there it is. Good thing the Hammond is able to stall here at the last minute, taking out Tempt as well. Another big pick. We saw the damage he did on those stats, and Jimmy's cleaving away there as Empyrean stabilizing after that.
Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Empyrean decides the last second to pull the hero plays. Are we going to see another stall, Waffles? We're going to see another stall at the end of Rialto, and then Empyrean will have to do the same thing against Bird Society to win the map. It might be, the prophecy may come true.
Let's go. Round two, stalling it out for a long time on the third point. Bit of deja vu. Well, I guess, like you said, we'll see if it actually turns out to be deja vu, depending on this cap. Chickadee does have their self-destruct online and their sound barrier too, but not a whole lot after that. So they might use the sound barrier to get aggressive and try to push in, or to try to combat in response. The shatter comes through, but Jimmy's is frozen solid. Doesn't get to do much after that. And well, there's the sound barrier for Chickadees, reinforcing everybody on their team. They did have someone go down, and well, Empyrean has to respond with their own sound barrier as well. They are doing a great job at repelling Chickadees back on this most recent offense as their high noon is popped by Tempt, finding RBM. Oh, the Lucio couldn't quite get out of the way. Jimmy's frozen solid once again, and well, Chaotix putting in a massive amount of work as this May, targeting his counterpart May as well, and now it is all Empyrean can do to trickle onto the point and try to stall this out. I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch after this Lucio goes down.
Yeah,
the wall is there.
Like a foregone conclusion.
Oh, that is a round 3 completed. Only 1:03 on the clock though for Chickadee, so considerably less time than they had on their King's Row push after they had completed their first round.
Absolutely. So again, Bird Society can win this out and not push us to a map 4, but Empyrean, on the other hand, again, we saw them in King's Row. This, just decide that this is the time to step up. And again, some teams like to play as the underdog. Some teams like to play behind the 8 ball, as it were. And so Empyrean might be one of those teams, but that's okay. So we're going to see where they're going to do in their attack. I mean, again, as you mentioned, 1 minute on a time bank is not a lot, but considering that they completed Rialto with a time bank is impressive to me. And so I'm going to stick with that.
Empyrean's going to have to really make or break this map. It is still all on the line for them. It's match point currently for Chickadee, and well, Chickadee is opting to be sneaky here on the side. Ooh. They're going to try to do a very close hold and get aggressive to burn down a lot of time from Empyrean. Now the tanks are engaging here straight out on the point. It is just going to be a brawl city here. RBM with the first boop kill on attempt, and after that, Empyrean continuing to take down the members of Chickadee one after another.
Wow, it just looks like Bird Society said, no, we're just going to take the fight to them, but that doesn't matter. Empyrean is going to clear Bird Society off. So, I mean, just like a sneak play, just to kind of like maybe set the tone and the pace for this match going up, but Empyrean knows what a payload is, and they're going to move it forward here.
They're making good time so far as well. That was their first engage, so 3:18 and counting on the clock for them. They continue to move forward and take the space there. 14 elims for Skirt, though, on that Rhine. Coming up big there for those stats. There's the walls thrown, and both Reinhardts are going to be swinging back and forth. It's Ragnarok taking down Tempthil to open up the fight, and now Jimmy's is continuing to be aggressive. There's the heals and the resources getting pumped into him. He gets frozen mid-charge. So clutch coming out from Chaotic, and the sound barrier saves everyone from Empyrean there, and now lets them get super aggressive. He drops that Earth Shatter, doesn't find anything because he gets frozen, but it doesn't matter. His team is there to support him.
And Empyrean is I'm getting a little bit nervous, Waffles. I'm getting a little bit nervous because Empyrean is charging fast. They've got to this first point with like 5 minutes to go. I mean, I think it was a faster cap than Bird Society have, but like again, just needed to be their backs to be against the wall to kind of to pick up and play here. And again, they're just going to keep moving forward here, just going to play the high ground just at the same time. But it looks like they're going to be a stall-off fight here.
The wall comes up from that May also to continue, trying to take space and prevent them from pushing forward. Both Reinhardts now. Oh, Jimmy's frozen for solid once again, and the Diva Bomb comes through to just
the combination.
I mean, that's an assist if I ever saw one from the May. Once again, nice and obvious like we had talked about before.
Absolutely. So it looks like Bird Society is going to reset a little bit here. And Empyrean is going to regroup and try again. It's better to take a fight with all 6 members than opposed to just playing alone. But this payload is still moving, and I'm not sure where Bird Society is going to be. I mean, if they're hovering above, they should just get down on the ground and take this fight.
Yeah, they need to get on the payload. It's just rolling forward. Like, no one's saying anything here. No, there we go. There's the contest coming through. The wall has been put up from Chickadee to try to stop that Ant Matrix, and Temp takes down Hanbei. Now there is a kill going back and forth between the two of them, so they could come out on top, and there it is. Empyrean starting to pull ahead in the numbers game. Now, Chickadee is falling like a house of cards, one after another, as Empyrean taking space forward, trying to make sure that they can move this cart successfully to the second point.
All right, Waffles, my nerves can only take so much. Look at this. If Bird Society does not get to this point, they're going to cap number 2, probably with a good 5 minutes to go to attack this last point. Now, Chickadee didn't have the time. Oh, go!
Taneka, oh my gosh, another Blizzard E coming through. He puts another one in his pocket for the stats that we don't get to see all the time, and Empyrean gonna continue cleaning up the members of Chickadee. Well, if we interview someone from Empyrean after, I'm sure they're gonna tell us we perform better under pressure.
Yes, if I were coaching them, I would say, let's not wait until the last second. Let's not wait until we're down to start actually playing like we know how we can play. But again, they just captured the point here. They got 4 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock just to get to point 3, and they're gonna have a huge time back if they can finish this out. And then Bird Society Chickadee has no answers, and the Shatter comes down and gets 2 as well.
Ragnarok gets taken down, even though 3 members of Chickadee had been shattered. Skirt finally taken down, though, to capitalize after that. Jimmy's trying to get aggressive. Jazz pops that sound barrier, saving his frozen lifeline as well. Great job coming through, supporting your support, and Chickadee trying to continue repelling this assault from Empyrean. There's the Diva Bomb thrown, and it finds RBM, but Zetsubo goes down to that Fire Strike before they can remech. The Ant Matrix has been popped for Chickadee, and that's definitely discouraging for Empyrean, especially after the high noon from Tempt, but Tempt finds Ragnarok. Oh, I'm surprised that shield wasn't quite up. Might have been broken though before.
Yeah, it just rolls forward. He gets 3 off of the, just as the high dude gets 2 and then gets 1 out, one behind it. And now Versailles Chickadee is just going to see if they can push Empyrean back and they have to reset again. But this time, the advantage of Empyrean playing so well is that they have time to make a reset and take another push at it. They can at least get a better time bank than Bird Society, but at the same time, it's just going to be a rough fight for this last point.
Yeah, they need to ensure they finish with any time though, so they can go the distance and try to fight this for a win. They continue moving forward, and well, Chaotic is the first person to also win his fight for the DPS. There's kills going back and forth between the 2 teams though, so could be a little bit of Empyrean being able to move forward. The Ant Matrix committed, trying to keep Jimmy's alive.
Oh no.
The Shatter thrown
Soul
straight
Shatter
at
goes
him.
down before that. Holy crap.
Yeah, that a lot of resources committed to ensuring that was not going to be him escaping successfully. And well, Empyrean rolling the point forward. Chickadee's going to have a chance to stall this out here before it touches at the last moment.
Absolutely, just the stagger play coming in from the Diva as well. We are close to this box here, and again, they can finish. If they finish with a larger time bank, they'll have a chance for the win, as you mentioned. And another fight's going to come in. First Society is going to put it all on the line here to see if they can stop this out.
Well, there's a big blizzard coming through from Empyrean. Few members frozen, and Ragnarok's Deadeye goes ahead and finds Lifeline as well. They're up in numbers, and that's a good opportunity. That's huge as the door has been opened as they get even more picks in their favor. The blizzard from Chaotic is thrown, even though they're reinforced by the sound barrier, but it is all zoning from there as she continues to hold, and there it is, kill finished off. Empyrean still rolling the point forward as Tempt pops that high noon, blocked off right away by Miracle, not wanting to get shot by that. And well, now it is a time-burning game for Chickadees to try to prevent Empyrean from capping with any time there. Nope, not even gonna happen, Will. 124 on the clock for Empyrean, so not a horde more, but...
Not a horde more, but it's an opportunity, and that's all they're looking for here. Empyrean has a chance to win their first map and potentially pulls us to a map 4, but Bird Society is not going to... It doesn't want to have this. They want to end this here and now. It's gone longer than necessary. Great job to Empyrean for finishing the map with a better time bank, and again, the stall... You know when the hammer comes out at the last point, that's desperation plays. It's just like you have nothing else in the bank, so you have to go here. And Miracle has made 28 elims. I mean, you might as well call them a sniper at this point. 9 final blows, 10,000 damage done, and blocked for 10,000 as well. So I mean, they're just getting in and mixing it up with the walls and the blizzards and everything else. So we're gonna see what Bird Society can do in their attack. Again, they had a lower time bank here, so they get to go first. But again, Empyrean can win if they can do better than Bird Society can go. So here we go. Anything can happen, Waffles. Anything can happen. This is only the first match. They're gonna sneak play as well.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu, but this time coming out from Empyrean on the defensive side, trying to move around. And well, they take this fight on the other side of the cart from the spawn side. So now Chickadee can't move this cart forward too much as they continue, and now they're getting pressured forward. Empyrean getting aggressive and just a bunch of poke damage as they continue trying to find that opening. There's the wall through it. Oh, is this poop gonna be big? Doesn't quite find the kill off the edge, but all in all, kills trading back and forth between the 2 teams as well. Jazz trying to get aggressive here, and there it is. Boop coming through, manages to find her, and after that, Empyrean still losing members and finds the kill though onto Skirt last minute. They're getting a few more as they continue to try to back off and stall this timeout, which is the name of the game, Will. There's only 10 seconds left, and well, Bird Society is on the cart, but OT is about to
Yeah, if they stay on that cart, they can't move off of it, so they gotta leave one player on the cart as the time ticks away. We're going to go to overtime here, and it looks like Empyrean is going to play to win. They got a couple ultimates online, and the high noon's going to zone players off, but it's not going to matter as much. They're just going to still stay by.
Zetsubo going to be looking to eat that Blizzard from Miracle once again, adding a third to his pocket and making the hat trick. It's going to be important. Oh, a huge pick comes out from Jimmy still to open up the fight for Empyrean, and that is going to be it for them, Will. They have taken down so many members of Chickadees. RBM gets that sound barrier out to prevent the death from the Blizzard, and one for the stats a bit as well. Great defense coming out from Empyrean to hold Chickadee on this first checkpoint, before the first checkpoint.
Before the first checkpoint. So here we go. Empyrean, the flare for the dramatic. All they have to do is push the payload a little bit further than Birdside Chickadee. The golden box of victory awaits them. And let's see if Empyrean can pull it back and bring us to a map 4 in the first match of the Will English Invitational on Thursday. If this is what we have to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen, this is all random draw. I don't know what the heck is going to happen the rest of this evening. My goodness. And here we go. Congrats to Bird Society for playing well, but Empyrean just like this is what Overwatch is about here, right? It's just having the mental fortitude to not take the setbacks, to get back online and get back to the game. And so here we go. 10 seconds to go, and my goodness, I was nervous earlier, but man, Empyrean looks like they showed up to play.
Yeah, if you're fans of either of these teams, you're definitely having a nail-biting moment. Empyrean gets a little tricky going out of the top. Chickadee doesn't even see them until they drop down, and well, now they have decided to engage all the way here on the first point of this area. There's Jimmy's going down to Zetsubo here as the opening kill, and well, Chickadee's continuing to get the kills in their favor after that. The point has rolled forward a bit though, and well, Chickadee's gonna go ahead and hold their defense strong. They're getting peppered a bit here, and that's Empyrean going for the full reset.
Absolutely. So like it looks like Your Society will get at least one more fight out of this, but this is desperation territory. We're at 45 seconds left of the clock, and if you got to do something, you got to do it now. I mean, if Verse Society knows, I mean, like Empyrean knows how to do the desperation plays and play at the last second, they're just going to play forward here. This might be our final fight.
Empyrean here needs to either leave it all on the map and, well, show us if they're clutch or not here at the end of this Rialto round. It is match point for Chickadee. It's all on the line. Temps High Noon continuing to zone people out. Doesn't find the kill. He does almost get that Lucio, but he continues to move back. Chickadee now pops their immortality field, and they've all been dropped on the ground.
Oh, no!
Empyrean coming up big with Jimmy's on that Earth Shatter.
Is that it?
Follow-up is there, Will.
Is that it? All the members of Down's a team kill coming in from Empyrean. They're close to this open box of victory, and we're going to go to another map. Bird Society, where are you? Fly into the zone here. Let's go. They're flying into the right heart. It's going to come in. Welcome to the desperation plays. Come in.
Sound barrier pop for Chickadees. Everyone's caught in it, and they are now finally flooding back onto the point. RBM pops his own shortly after, reinforcing Empyrean. And, well, Zetsubo goes ahead and pops a big D.Va bomb. I saw another ultimate eaten by the D.Va. Missed that one a little bit behind. And, well, now it is chaos on the point, back and forth. It looks like Empyrean, though, losing a little bit of their grip as their members are going down to left and right. Punches from Chaotic, giving him the 1-2. And after that, Chickadees manages to take this win here at the very end, and will take our first round for themselves as well.
Absolutely. So, man, what a game! Shout outs to Chickadees pulling this out 2-0. We're going to be moving on into the bracket. Now again, our 4-man's double elimination, so that means that we will not see the last of Empyrean. They fought well, but man, what a game. And this is the first one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first one, and we have so much more to go. Man, Waffles, this is it's just so awesome to see. It's just like this is the kind of result you're looking for, right? You kind of want to see the competition. It just comes right out of the gate. You know, like I was thinking like kind of the early rounds would kind of be, you know, like 2-0 stops and just people getting their feet wet and just getting back to used to the competition. It's Thursday, it's late, you know, and everything else. But man, no, these teams have practiced, they've come to play, they've come to win.
Totally. And, you know, the score does say 2-0, but we've talked about how some of the stats don't fully reflect what happens behind the scenes. And this was not an easy 2-0 win for Bird Society Chickadees. They had the draw. And if anything, that just shows Empyrean is definitely one you want to keep your eye on. They're adapting, they're learning, and I don't know, Will, by the end of this, they may have evolved to come back and win it all.
Invitational is brought to you by Overwatch Tranquility, a community that fosters a positive environment for Gold through Masters teams to embrace the competitive spirit of Overwatch. For more information, check out owtranquility.org. The Will Invitational is brought to you by Landlords Gaming, Toronto's casual and competitive esports organization. Check them out on Twitter at Landlords Gaming. And welcome back to the Will English Invitational. My name is Will English IV. We've got Waffles, we've got Regen, we've got Forge Academy in our next match here in Group B. Welcome to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We just had an amazing first match that went 2-0, but it was definitely a nail biter towards the end. And that is just our first match, Waffles. That is just our first match. But this next one here might be just as good. We have Regen and Forge Academy, and Forge Academy is a little bit of I'm happy that I'm on the broadcast right now because I'm extremely familiar with this team, Waffles. This is our former Kaiju Corp King Caesar team. It's kind of like the lead team from the Kaiju Corp organization. They are flying under a different banner in Chicago's Forge, but they're one and the same. You've got Wyatt, you've got Crimson, you've got all the crazy players that are going to come in, and then of course you on the other side you have Regen, which they have our lovely folks over there. Now again, I believe those two teams scream together as well, so that they should be extremely familiar with each other. But this doesn't matter. It's competition time, ladies and gentlemen. So it's time to show us what you got.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Like you mentioned before, our previous match was definitely a nail biter, and they went to round 4 multiple times. So I'm excited to see what these next teams are going to bring to the table. And I got to say, having some insider information doesn't hurt either, Will. So what do you think? What is your prediction then? Do you want to be so bold as to make a prediction?
Oh, that's what this is? Are you going to put me in the spot on my own broadcast?
That's okay. I'll do it too.
So if I'm going to make a prediction here, I'm going to back my boys at Forge Academy as well. I'm going to be rooting for them. What about yourself?
I'm going to go with the flip side here on Regen. I think that they're going to bring out a little bit more unexpected aggression and show us what they're made of.
Absolutely. So we're going to go. So the map pool has been set for all round 1 games. So we're going to go back to Busan, and we're just going to get right into it. Just going to drive right into the game here. And of course, Regen is just going to go barreling onto this point.
Well, we see Forge Academy going ahead and taking an aggressive off angle here as this Tracer, trying to get that pepper damage in, and she gets pressured by the Diva from Regen as well. Forced to use that recall, it's actually going to be Regen opening up with the onslaught onto Forge Academy. After one pick came through, Will, they pretty much fell domino effect after that.
Oh man, just like you hate to see it, especially for Forge. I mean, like they were just so far forward, and it's just like Regen just got some of the key picks off there with McCree, with Sorrow on that McCree. So sorry for that. Either way, it looks like Forge Academy is going to reset, and that Regen is going to capture this first point, and their percentage is climbing. I mean, we definitely have some more fights to go, but let's see. Like this early pick was just a little bit off kilter. Maybe again, just shaking off the nerves this first match.
Totally. This Invitational is a big deal, and, well, it takes time for teams to warm up. There is an opening pick, though, for Forge Academy to start them off in this fight. Now that Regen is down their main tank, it's going to be tough for them to continue holding as soon as their Mei also goes down as well. So now Regen is going to be looking to continue holding the point here and keeping it possession in their favor. Sorrow putting in the work and causing a lot of sorrow on his own end, and for Forge Academy, holy smokes, that was 4 kills right there and a 5. There's 5 out of 6 players going to Sorrow.
I mean, you can see right here the stats. Like Sorrow, that McCree already has 8 eliminations, and the match hasn't even started yet. 7 final blows, almost 2,000% damage, and 56% accuracy here. I mean, it just again, Regen came to play here, and they're at 56% of this control point. And Forge doesn't seem to have the answers at this point. It's just I'm not sure what's going on here, but they're going to try again. They don't have any ultimates either. The Baptiste application mission comes out as well, but then their counter. The Blizzard comes out, the 3 comes out, and then another team wipe is going to come in for Forge. Oh my god, it's just like my prediction is just going to go south very, very quickly here. I mean, come on, Forge, let's go.
You might have cast or cursed him, and I also apologize to Forge Academy for forcing you into that. I'll take some of that blame. I set you up there.
By the way, the McCree player on the Forge Academy, even though it's Japanese letters, it actually spells out Nathan, just kind of like it's just the English way of saying Nathan. Either way, he is going to pull out the Graviton Surge as well, see if they can get 2 players. Does not, no more follow-up, but the Diva Bomb is going to get in response. I mean, Regen is just going to cycle out, but then of course the field is going to keep them alive through that fight, and it's going to throw it down, and oh my god, 3 more kills comes in, but Sorrow was on the top of the high ground against 3 right behind the back line. It is not going to go well for Forge. They get wiped again, and even though they put the point in the middle of that fight, it looks like Regen is just going to hold strong and take this first point. Overtime is taken down. There's no one out here. That's it. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. 1-0 Regen.
Sorrow, I don't think Forge Academy was ready for someone like Sorrow to just literally McCree roll forward and roll through, getting kill after kill after kill. We saw the opening kills he got another 5-man sweep in one of the fights, and then another 3K there at the end. So if that doesn't trigger Forge Academy's red flag of, hey, we need to watch and contain this guy or be putting pressure on him at the very minimum, I don't know what will.
I don't know what will. I don't know either. And nice pun there. I like that. Either way, Forge Academy is just like, we're gonna try again. We're gonna get into this next point here. And again, I'm just looking for Forge just to play strong. I know they can play better than this. And again, it's casted first, and I don't have bias on the cast, but at the same time, it's just this is not what I'm used to seeing here. And so I just want them to rally here. They're gonna take the fight on the high ground here and see if we can just stall this out. But last time there was just kind of an early pick at the first point, but it just looks like people are just going to stay around here on the high ground, and just like there's just not a lot of action going on, but teams are just staying strong and just trading blows back and forth.
Totally, a bit of a poke, and there's the charge. The kill not quite there to follow up, even though he's actually one punch. There it is, Grezin going in for the kill. They have been exchanged though. Both Reinhardts have been taken down, and it's actually Regen with the man advantage here since Forge Academy's Nathan was taken down. Sorrow also removed from the equation though on Regen's side, and well, Regen does have possession of the point, so they're not too concerned as far as stalling out for time. They know that it's in their advantage, and they're committing the Ant Matrix as well to this fight. So mowing down Insane-Awea right after that. A lot of damage comes through, and all in all, just a tough push out for Forge Academy. This hallway here is narrow, and we honestly don't want to be going into the Reinhardt at all.
Absolutely. It's just like the Regen just had the confidence just to throw out that Ant Matrix, just to keep Forge Academy members off the point. And Forge Academy is just going to have to reset again, and it's not looking good. I mean, Regen is at 39% here, and it's just like Forge does not have the answers. They can't even touch this point. They're also going to have a full bank of ultimates going into this next fight, so I'm not sure how Forge is going to kind of counter this. So like, it might be just saving their ultimates for this next fight and just see if they can get any kind of work. But then of course they get walled off, and that's not going to bode well.
Oh, and a big slam.
And there's the next 5, and another Ken. Reinhardt Draco just playing out players. It gets the pin and the next kill as well, and another team wipe almost comes in from Regen, and Forge Academy is now pretty much down the last fight territory. They have not been able to do anything, Waffles, at all.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Forge Academy pick it up. We talked about, how we want them to do well. We want to see all Overwatch teams perform at their highest, and it seems like they are a little unprepared for Regen. Oh, what a beautiful wall! Holy smokes! Ski Coops just shuts that down right away, and well, after that, Forge Academy is stuck in this hallway. They were pushing up, hoping to get a big slam, and the Diva Bomb gets sent, probably trying to go down that hallway, just misses it by the skin of their teeth there, and well, after that, OT bar has been triggered, and Regen on the point, Sorrow on the point. Not someone you want to have to roll into and try to contest by yourself, especially on that McCree is. Well, all in all, Regen doing a great job and continuing to get the picks to take this map for themselves in their favor.
And just like that, Regen wins. It takes this first map and just like in extremely dominant fashion. I'm just gonna chalk this first game up to nerves. I'm just gonna chalk this first game up to nerves, Waffles. I mean, it's just like just, and of course, Sauro is the player of the game here. And this is gonna be the two off the 3 kill off the high ground, the high noon, and just again just rolling forward again. But what can you imagine coming into a match and then you have got a person like Sauro coming in and just wrecking shop? Like, what do you do about that? Do you target them down? Do you do you just focus all of your energy towards them? And of course, I'm sure that Regen knows this. They're going to keep the McCree in the back line here and just keep them protected. But my goodness, what a dominant showing coming from Regen, and where they're already up 1-0.
Totally. And I have to say, as someone at my considerably lower play ranking than all of the people you see here, dealing with a McCree like that, not going to happen from me. That's totally something I'm asking someone else to do. I can help. But doing it myself, probably not going to be in the playable hands for our team. But so I know this was a stomp a little bit on this first map, but that's what happened previously.
Right.
We saw Chickadees and Empyrean do the exact same thing, and then it was a new team. The first map essentially fired Empyrean up to come back and hold really well and take these fights and maps toe-to-toe with Chickadees. And I think the same thing's going to happen with Forge Academy. They've got the fire. They need to just take the hammer and keep beating away at the metal till it's the right shape.
Forge through steel and iron. But I can tell you, if I know anything about the Kaijikor team, the former Kaijikor team in Chicago's Forge, like Tengu was the former coach of that team as well, has taught them the mental fortitude, has taught them to focus and taught them to meditate. Actually, Tengu is probably watching me right now. Is like he is notorious for playing Zenyatta. Actually, that's his signature character. And so you think Zen, you think like focus and just that mental fortitude. I know he trains his play as well. So if nothing else, I just do expect Chicago's Forge to kind of pick up the pieces here and fight into this next best. So we're going to be going into Kings Row, and again, Regen can pull this out. They're 1 point away from or 1 game away, I should say, from picking this out, but Forge Academy not count them out yet. We've seen some desperation plays, and like Empyrean decided on Kings Row to do their miracle run. We're hoping Forge Academy is going to do the same. They're going to be there on attack.
And Control is a totally different gameplay style as far as tempo and how you are or are not rewarded for your aggressiveness. So these types of hybrid and payload maps could definitely yield different results when it plays to people's strengths better or worse. We've seen teams completely dominate on Control and then just absolutely get rolled.
The Bastion plays, the Bastion Symmetra plays. I've seen this. Are they going to just put this thing? Yeah, they are. Here we go. We're going to put it right to the top.
Going straight forward at the top here. There's he's just a turret on the top playing Bastion's point-and-click adventure. He does finally have to leave that vulnerable area. It's insane Noea, the first person to go down from Ski Coop. So Regen getting that advantage on the defensive side, but Forge Academy backing off enough, knowing that spawn advantage is in their favor, and gonna give them plenty of time to try again.
Absolutely. So Forge Academy is just the cheeky Bastion plays. And are they going to do this again? I mean, they're almost committed to this at this point. It looks like they're going to probably play until they get their first ultimate, then switch off. But you have to get some mad respect for Forge for sticking with this, even though it didn't work the first time. And they're just going to go to the side and knock them off. But again, the Bastion plays just still staying in that backline, trying to melt players down from there, and then just gets taken down. I mean, that's just the easy target. That was almost too easy. And then Hida is going to switch over to Sigma and just try to get some value out of him. But Sauro, with that McCree, is lurking behind that wall, and you don't want to face that gun. And he has the high noon on deck, just ready to zone players out. But it looks like Forge Academy is going to make the swap. Yes, they are. Here we go. That's a smart heads-up play, and they're going to try again.
I like Crimson on this Hanzo too. I don't know if Regen's going to be prepared for something so deadly as a potential snipe coming through. Draco's going to have to manage that shield well, and they're going to have to play behind cover. There's the Blizzard getting third. Holy smokes, Hida coming up big with the kinetic grasp of Ski Coop's Blizzard. Goes ahead and follows up with a flux of his own, and the Immortality Field keeps the members of Regen alive after that. Insane away, saved by the sound barrier at the last moment just before he was frozen solid. And after that, Forge Academy continuing to sweep Regen off the point, and now they have 1 tick already in their pocket. They're going to easily close this out and capture and unlock the point.
this is what you like to see. This is what you like to see. And the stagger pick coming in from on Sorrow is going to seal the deal. We have a payload phase, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to the streets phase at Kings Row. Forge Academy forging on and moving ahead.
Getting aggressive here and moving around the corner. They know that, Regen backing off, giving up some space there. So they don't want to be too out of position out of that natural cover around the corner. Both shields getting very pesky from the teams, blocking off those, peppering bullets that really force resources out. Those fire strikes, though, coming up huge. Draco's got his Earth Shatter online, and the dragons tear through from behind. Forge Academy, though, continuing to press forward, and a huge shatter drops 4 people from Forge on the ground. After that, Regen just continues to push forward and clean up.
That was just way deep into the back line. It's just like all the members of Forge Academy were in that corner there, and they just got knocked off or whatever. But either way, it's just a reset's gonna come in for Forge. They have to try again here. I mean, they were looking so good in that first part of this push here, but it looks like more of the same coming in from Regen.
Hida switching over to that Zarya as well. So definitely going to be able to be a huge threat. And a big pick coming through from Draco as Regen just continues to get the kills in their favor. Oh man, shutting down the push before it was really even had a chance.
No, not at all. Again, Sorrow coming out big. I mean, like if you saw the tracking on this player, again, 9 eliminations, 2 final blows, and almost 3,500 damage just off the top, ladies and gentlemen. But like he was just clicking heads and tracking people through walls. It's crazy. This player, his MVP, is going to do the high noon as well. Let's see if he gets to it. Yes, he does. Wow. He's on that high ground. He was protected by the sound barrier as well. He's just chasing these players into spawn. Forge Academy is just kind of again, if they get out of spot, I mean, they got to take down Sorrow first. Do not pass. Do not enter.
Yeah, it is going to be tough for them to continue trying to push out, and now they're stuck in their spawn. So something has to change, either speed-wise or here they are all as a unit. They've already been sectioned off, though, by the wall. A few of them go down low, and it's Insane Away that goes down first. The Meteor Strike comes through from Crimson, and, well, all in all, not finding too much. Ant Matrix popped, and there it is. Regen coming out on top with the kills all in their favor once again. And Forged Academy now only having that sound barrier and about to have their grab and Ant Matrix online.
Absolutely. So, I mean, they'll have both support ultimates coming into this next fight, and then Insane Wyatt is still on the Reinhardt, man. But, like, I'm not sure what to do. And Crimson is also swapped out back to the Doomfist. Now, I'm not sure what's the idea behind that one. I would expect more of a Hida play. Well, he can't play DPS right now. But either way, the sound barrier gets popped, and it looks like Forge Academy is just going to try to play the high ground to get out of this thing. But the Blizzard's going to get a counter, and then here comes that high noon from Sorrow again. He is just standing in the back line waiting. He gets nothing for the first time. I think he's a little high noon and gotten no kills off of it. But the kills are coming in for Regen. But then look at this. Hida is going to get 2. They're going to pop the ground side search while we were just talking here. It gets 2 more kills. Nathan comes in as well, and they're going to clear back, and they're just going to rush right back to this point here. But they're going to play forward and see if they can get some more value out of here while Regen is resetting. But man, the hero play is coming in from Forge again. This is what we like to see. They're just going to play all the way forward here. I mean, the payload, like, what's a payload? I'm not sure.
I mean, when you want to take space, it's time to take space. And as someone myself who also plays a lot of Zarya, you want to try to stay charged as well. And not let that fall as low. That new update that happened through last month definitely reduces how long that stays. He's got a ton of damage done, though. And, well, now the Ant Matrix is popped for Regen, so they're going to be looking. And the Draco goes ahead and throws his Fire Strike through it. We've all been caught by one of those, and we know it's an instant delete after that, Will.
Oh, man, but like 10 seconds left of the clock, and it's just not a good time for a team wipe here. I mean, like there's no one on this payload, and they just picked it off at the right time. Well, seconds goes by. We don't even get an overtime phase, and that is where the cart will stop. Forge Academy gets 68 meters on this cart, and it looks like Regen can take the match by pushing it just a little bit further than Forge Academy did. We'll see what they can do in their attack.
Ski Coops, though, we saw that stat pop up in the corner about their eliminations, just absolutely popping off and continuing to enable their team. It's either Ski Coops or Sorrow really getting a lot of those kills that we see flood the feed. And, well, Ski Coops is definitely slowing people down with that general, freeze, freeze cone that she throws from her primary, and getting those touches to continue helping and enabling her teammates.
Yeah, and in the same way, again, just one of the hero plays of the team, and like normally, so I was looking for Insane Y to get actually on the Winston. That's what his signature player as well. But yeah, almost 11,000 damage block. But here we go on the attack here. Rejay can pull this out, and Sorrow is on the Widowmaker. Oh my goodness, he almost pulls it off. He almost gets his first, but he's just gonna switch back to the McCree right away. It was we're just jokes, sons. We just got jokes here. Either way, this attack continues.
We're just barking. We're not actually biting. We're just barking that we're gonna, try to snipe you.
You got jokes, son. You got jokes.
Oh, but now though, fight's still breaking out on the point. The immortality field has to be committed, and it's depleted so quickly after that. Hida is at 70 charge, and I gotta say, I think the switch onto the Zarya was the right move because he is outputting a lot of damage, and look at that. Bubbled and completely blocked the rest of those micro missiles coming through. Now the Ant Matrix is in pop for regen, and they are getting the kills in their favor, though.
Yep,
not easy to mitigate that.
Sorrow on that McCree. It just it's death here. No, I also have a little bit of stats here for possible as Baptiste, like almost 16,000 heals done, and then also 4,000 damage as well. So not exactly a battle mercy, but is just putting in work at the Baptiste. And the AT eliminations as well. My goodness.
I mean, like he's a DPS.
You can almost a DPS player, the third DPS in the non-existent Ghost meta here. But either way, we're going back to the match here. Regen has captured the point, and they're moving the payload forward again. Forge Academy is almost in the last fight territory. That payload is barreling past, and Forge Academy got one more fight before they lose this all. I mean, it's just like this is going to be hard to defend against this very dominant Regen team.
We're just going to have to leave it all on the table. It's match point for Regen moving up. And, well, right now, the Reinhardts are continuing to hold the front line and dance around. Oh, a big pick comes through onto Nathan to open up the fight for Regen as their Blizzard is thrown. Oh, holy smokes, Crimson coming up huge. He got that hat trick kill for himself. And now the members of Regen are still trying to fight this battle and win. The solo grab onto Sorrow. Once again, I said that they needed to ID him as a threat, and they seem to have been doing that.
Well, it looks like the Forge Academy just again, flare for the dramatic and wait until the last second here. But then again, the Regen is staying on his card. The Reinhardt is just uncontested. It's like almost lost it just by not paying attention. They're gonna dive in. That high dude's gonna come in as well. As soon as he gets nothing out, but gets taken down. Nathan gets taken down right behind that. And Sarah's got that high dude. It's gonna that combination. It doesn't even matter. Right as we say that, he sets that up. Regen is gonna take this 2-0 over Forge Academy. And if the play of the game is not Sorrow, I think the game is broken. Okay, well, okay, fine. We'll get the same line on the screen as well.
Okay.
We'll take that. We'll take those.
That's okay. We didn't need another high noon. One was great, and that shatter was just so nasty after that. And it's a free heyday for him to continue walking forward to cleave. You see everyone in the kill feed as well, lending their support. And who doesn't love firing at a target that's holding still and laying down?
Right, absolutely. I mean, just the advantage comes in, right? But
right.
Shout outs to Regen for pulling it out 2-0 in a very dominant fashion here. And so they get to move on into Group B. So we've actually had 2 games out of Group B already. So I'm not sure if they're on the same side of the bracket, but definitely you'll see them both in our games on Saturday. Unfortunately for Forge Academy, they'll have to start off on the loser side if they're going to make this miracle run out of the bracket here. But like I said, do not count any of these teams out. Again, this format lends to that you have it is double elimination. So we get to 4 teams. So that means you have an opportunity. If you lose once, that's okay. You can still make it out. So I would not bend your heads too low, Forge Academy. You guys did fight very, very bravely. But of course, my prediction did not come true. So Waffle would win this non-existent, points in this particular case. And I'm sorry I didn't also do the channel points as well. I can only do 2 things at once, not 3. But either way, so again, congrats to them. And as well, I'm not sure. So like Waffles, if you could think of a player of the match, what would you? What I'll give this to you since I messed it up the last time. Who would you give that award to?
Oh man, you saw how much Sorrow was popping off, and obviously he's being enabled by his teammates. But when you are landing those final blows, you're getting the positioning to get the high noons with those big kills, right? Because you're a sitting duck during a high noon. That's bringing a huge amount of value, and the timing of when to execute those, as far as knowing that the other team has utilized resources and, committed things that may be a threat to you in this vulnerable state, took them into account, got the work done, and was consistent. That's the other thing. I think if we're going to pick someone who's a player of the match, they do need to be be consistent throughout the maps that we have seen. And he definitely did that. I mean, look at that, 30 eliminations. Holy smokes. That's a horde of eliminations coming through. And
that's almost 2 games. That is almost 2 games worth of eliminations just in one map.
Jeez.
Sorrow was going to be your player of the match as predicted, or not predicted, but I guess, as told by Waffles. And so, man, like this is a little bit different energy from what we had in our first match here, but the same action, none the same. So again, we're like, this is just game 2, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got 2 more tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to be definitely so this might be the end of in my time here. We'll see. I don't want to jinx anything, but we've got Bard coming up as well, another a famed member of Overwatch Tranquility. I'm so happy to have him on the broadcast. We will see you in a couple of minutes here, and we'll get to our next match. The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Overwatch Tranquility, a community that fosters a positive environment for Gold through Masters teams to embrace the competitive spirit of Overwatch. For more information, check out owtranquility.org. The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Landlords Gaming, Toronto's casual and competitive esports organization. Check them out on Twitter at Landlords Gaming. The Will English Invitational is brought to you The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Ignited.gg, a community that works to foster a positive gaming space by hosting teams, tournaments, and weekly events. Go to Ignited.gg or on Twitter at Ignited.gg. The Will English Invitational is brought to you by ELOL Esports, turning passionate volunteers into working esports professionals. And welcome back to the Will English Invitational. Again, my name is Will English IV. We've got Waffles and a new caster to the desk, Mr. Bard. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right. Well, we have our next match on deck here with Spin to Win and DePaul Academy Black. And again, I just want to tell a little bit of a story here, and then I'm going to let you two do your thing and be professionals. The idea is that Spin to Win was in our first Will English Invitational, but they were in the gauntlet phase, and they just got knocked out just by M-Monkey at the last match. So they stuck with it. They've come back, and now they're in the main bracket, and I made sure to reach out to them first to make sure they had a spot, because I would appreciate them coming at the last second. Then, of course, we also have DePaul Academy Black, a local Chicago team. Now, they have another squad in the bracket as well, but this is kind of their B team, as it were, which is why they go by to call Academy Black. But I'm looking forward to the competition. I'm going to get out of here so I can do my thing and support the back lines. You two have fun.
Well, thanks so much, Will. Really appreciate that. Bard, so great to have you on the stream.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited. This is the first tournament I've done with Will English, and I cannot wait to see these teams, because a couple teams in here I recognize, a couple teams I don't, and nothing more fun than watching the peak level of Overwatch.
Totally. And, we had some crazy games earlier today when we were casting, and people going all the way to round 4 multiple times, which honestly, it goes to show you how hard these teams are fighting, right? We have that $1,000 prize pool on the line at the end of all of this. And I guarantee you everybody's got their eye on trying to get that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For tier 2 and tier 3 Overwatch, $1,000 is a big prize pool. And these teams, they want it. They are here hungry, not only for your alts if they're playing Diva, but also for that prize at the end of this tournament.
Oh, we've seen a lot of ultimates eaten by Diva today as well. I think quite a handful, and even one from a Sigma too. So keep your eye out for it. It's been hot today. But we are going to actually go over to, our standard map pool for those of you who were with us earlier. For those of you just joining us, we will start off on Busan for our control map. And then from there, we'll go over to the King's Row and then Rialto to follow up if everyone wants to go toe-to-toe with each other today. But, I'm excited for control, right? It's a little bit different than the other two, hybrid and payload pushing, as far as tempo and how rewarded you are for being aggressive or giving a little bit of space and then attacking when they've fallen into your trap.
Yeah, and Busan especially is such an interesting control map, because it kind of lends to all three sort of styles of Overwatch. You've got Totally. Sanctuary, where poke is really good. You've got Mecha Base, where obviously you really want to brawl it out. And then you've got Downtown, which is kind of a dive map. It's been going back and forth over the past few metas, but it looks like we are going to be seeing the traditional brawls here coming out.
All right, and with the Reaper difference too for the two teams, so we saw a lot of McCree May coming out for the DPS line previously, and it'd be interesting to see what the additional damage on that front line brings.
Oh yeah, and the Brig as well coming out for DePaul Academy Black, and that's going to be a quick cleanup for Spin to Win. Oh man, they walked right in there and just tore through that front line with the Rhine and the Lucio, and that's what that speed boost will do for you.
Big Anthony come through at the end, but not anything going to yield from that once the rest of DePaul had been removed. Great aggression coming out from Spin to Win. Definitely enabled them to cleave through, and, well, you saw their Reinhardt just flooded in the kill feed.
Yeah, absolutely. A fellow kid is doing everything he knows how to do on that Reinhardt, just walking in, brawling heavily, and now DePaul Academy, they're going to be pushing towards the objective point. Sorry, not the payload. It's a control map, as they just want to play in there, but the Shatter is so fast. 4 on the ground, and Commando and Trojan are just going to go in and Kingsguard with 2 on the Lucio, and that is a clean fight off the back of that Shatter.
Spin to Win's feeling really good after that too. They only committed Shatter. And that's huge. Shatter's a quick building ultimate, and yes, it can lay everybody out, but the fact that they still have so many resources in their pocket is going to make it tough for DePaul to continue pushing in with only the Nano and their Shatter soon to be online for themselves.
Ooh! The Deadeye goes up in the speed boost. They throw the wall up on the side of DePaul Academy Black, but the speed boost just pushes them around that wall. And man, Commando is taking command of this game.
Yeah, he is definitely being very well rounded and continuing to just put that damage forward and the pressure alone. I'm excited to see this Blizzard come through for Spin to Win. I wonder if they're going to be aggressive on this engage here for it.
Yeah, and a fellow kid in Commando. Ooh, that's a big shatter on turn. Tetra knocking down 4 or 5 on the side of Spin to Win, and now they get to walk right in here. The Mei taking out Mickman, not really going to be able to follow through and block off that damage on the Mei, and the rally's also going to be committed here by Mary 6 as they walk in, and this should be enough for DePaul Academy Black to try to secure a win here, but the long-range Blizzard coming out from Mickman as they come back into this fight, and the Deadeye is going to be committed as well, and like that, Spin to Win, they turn around and they're going to take the first round to Busan on Sanctuary.
Throwing the Blizzard or yeeting the Blizzard, definitely in the eyes of the beholder there as that came in from just all the way down the court. Spin to Win though, pulling away this first map round victory for themselves. So gonna be taking it to match point for Busan here against DePaul. DePaul's gonna have to do something to fight back and make some changes. Commando was wreaking havoc, and well, a fellow kid just continuing to be able to be aggressive without being punished.
Yeah, for sure. And DePaul Academy Black also running a bit of an off-brawl meta there. Usually with the Mei, you want to be running the D.Va, so you can eat those Blizzards, mitigate that damage, collapse faster, but they were running that Zarya, so they wanted to be in those fights for a long time, but the fast fights were just going in Spin to Win's favor.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if they can continue holding this type of advantage. They decide to go for the high ground for their first engagement, and it'll be, well, now's the time they decide to drop down and engage.
Yeah, they drop in very fast, use Immo immediately, and there's Commando with a triple, a commanding performance, a quad kill, and the Hog and Ball comp does not seem to be doing nearly enough to shut down Commando here.
These McCrees all day have just been popping off. That's all I can say. Now it's Commando's turn to take the wheel of this, and well, look at that, 24 elims already, and we've only been 11% in the second round. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and 15 of those are final blows. Make that 16 as he takes down Cold Sands, and a fellow kid running rampant on this Reinhardt as well. They're just going to walk in, and this brawl comp, it's going to beat the Hog and Ball.
Spin to Win has a lot of ults online, and DePaul Academy, they're making changes too. It is early in the round, so hopefully these pay off and they actually have time to build those ultimates as resources. But for Control, you're definitely punished considerably more for change-ups like this.
Yeah, and there's the window being committed early, but the flashbang! Oh, Commando catches Cold Sands, and with the window up, they can commit the D.Va Bomb and the Fire Strike and just clean up the side of DePaul Academy Black. And I'm trying to cast these fights, but they're just over so quickly for Spin to Win.
Yeah, you blink and you will miss it. And I have to say, I'm a little surprised about Cold Sands' switch over to the Hammond. Commando has been, like you said, just devastating to the other team. And with his stun online, I'm surprised they went ahead and went for that. Oh, a pick comes out though already.
Oh, and fellow kid with the double Fire Strike. There's going to be the Deadeye committed. It gets one. It takes out the Wrecking Ball. It's all you need. Commando getting a cleanup kill onto Gay Goats, but this is just looking so dominant for Spin to Win.
The Fartin Spartan has those dragons online, and well, with Gay Goat's Tire too, it could be an opportunity for DePaul to really get some picks and get this point in their favor.
Ooh, the Dragon's committed. It does catch Len, and they push through this choke point here. This Tire, it's going to have to get value, and it's going to have to get a lot of it. It looks like they are going to be able to contest for overtime, and they might actually flip the point here. No, the contest does come back, and there's 3 kills there for Spin to win, make it 4, as now Commando up on this high ground, just dominating the objective point, gets 2 of his own, and I don't think DePaul are going to be able to touch here, and Spin to win, they're going to take this first map.
Commando there with a nice, clean, even 40 elims there in his pocket for the end of the first map only. I'm so curious to see, Bard, what he's going to do and continue to bring to the table for the next round. Here's his play of the game. A nice high noon as he gets lifted up and continues to just take that space, pushing forward, no fear. He knows his team is there to back him up.
Yeah, he knew the speed was going to be there to get him around that wall, and he knew that the shield was going to be there to protect him, and both were. So what do as a McCree? You walk forward, you wait for the skulls to pop up, you click mouse 1, and you watch the kill feed fill up with your name. So really well done from Commando, and really well done for Spin to win. Especially, I want to point out, a fellow kid on that Reinhardt looks scary to play against. I would not want to be in that match against them.
Oh, he was so aggressive, and you know, that team, Spin to win seems like they have a lot of trust in each other, right? If you're a Reinhardt, anyone who plays tank knows that if you're going to get aggressive, you have to have faith in your healers, that they're there for you, faith that your DPS is going to prevent that Doomfrizz from, punching you into their back line. And it's really nice to see that is actually all really coming together well for Spin to win.
Yeah, they have that synergy that you need for May Brawl, a comp that I think second only to Goats is a comp designed around synergy. And here we go, a fellow kid, 27 eliminations, 10 of those are final blows. And we look at Commando, who had like 20 or something final blows. If 10 of the final blows in the match alone are going to your Reinhardt when your McCree is farming final blows, that shows that you are an aggressive Reinhardt and that your team is allowing you to be aggressive and just dangerous to the enemy team.
Yeah. Honestly, dangerous is the exact word that describes that situation. They were not putting him in his place, so to say, and really respecting him as a threat. Him and both a fellow kid and Commando do need to be respected as far as the value, the damage, and the space that they can bring and take from you.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to see that here. It looks like DePaul Academy going with one of my favorite strats, the Sim Bastion TP up onto the statue. They're going to set themselves up, and there's the TP, and they get booped right off of that high ground. That's so unfortunate. Mickman looks like they knew that was what was going to be played here, running the Junkrat instead to get in and do that burst damage and help take down that Bastion. And there we go, Mickman with 2-3 in this fight, and a trap onto the Reinhardt for the assist. And that is a clean first fight for Spin to win.
Nice little hat trick there for Mickman to clean up. And honestly, the Junkrat was such a good call for this current defensive comp that Spin to win has, especially against the Sim Bastion strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to try it again. I don't think they're going to go... Oh, they are going to go for the statue, and they don't seem to be able to set up on top of it, which is an interesting... Oh, Commando, what are you on that flank? Going into the hotel and just finding the flashbang there. And once again, Spin to win. 6 kills in the kill feed and 0 deaths.
If DePaul is going forward for their offensive push, they need to keep in mind where Commando is. If you don't see Commando in front of you, you need to be worried. It's the same thing with the Reinhardt, right? When you're pushing in and you don't see a Reinhardt, you're trying to get ready for that.
Oh!
What?
Man,
oh my
on
word!
The flank, and that's 5. Don't res. That's gonna make it 6. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Mickman is a walking highlight reel on this Junkrat.
Right? I mean, he wants to give Commando a run for his money on elims and damage and a bit of that DPS spotlight.
Yeah, we see those stats. Commando, who was far and away at the front of the scoreboard for his team in the last round, it only has 2 final blows this time because Mickman is just running rampant on that Junkrat.
Mickman wants a chance to carry the team too, and well, all in all, Spin to win, just doing great at enabling their own teammates. Commando does go ahead and take down Gay Goats, but brought back very quickly, and there's McMahon again, once again, filling the kill feed. He's got the tire online, and I really hope DePaul is going to be ready and not let themselves succumb to, hopefully, this rinse and repeat 4K, 4K recipe.
I don't know if this is arrogance or confidence that McMahon is set up in the exact same spot as last time for this tire.
Is he even crouching?
I think so. I cannot.
I don't.
Okay, they saw him. Okay,
No,
good. You're not going to get away with that one for free this time, McMahon, but still looking for the tire in this backline.
Okay, it's just, being a threat and a distraction in the back line before they have to push through the small choke.
Hello, kid, blocking the shatter and then getting a fat shatter up there. Oh, 3 go onto the ground, and that's a player down for DePaul Black, who has DC'd.
Oh man, that is going to be rough for them. They've been doing a really great job so far. And well, this has been happening a little bit in our previous games, and it definitely is going to be a challenge for these teams to see who has the fortitude to come back from something unexpected like this, and who can recover and adapt the best, because that's really what it means to be one of the top ranking Overwatch teams, is that you can adapt to the different challenges, the varieties of team comp, the play styles, and just the individual differences of preference to overcome and win. So, I would love to see DePaul Academy show us that they've got what it takes, at least on the mental game side.
Yeah, and they are just in this last fight starting to try some new strats here. Obviously, the Sim Bastion didn't work. Usually after a fight or two of it not working, you'd want to swap, but they seemed pretty committed, and they got the setup on it in that last fight. They just couldn't get past the grav and the Junkrat spam damage, obviously. But they've swapped to the Widow Mei, which is interesting as a comp, just as a concept, because usually you'd want a Reaper or a Hanzo or a Doomfist or a Kree with the Mei, someone who can get up close and do the damage, but on King's Row, you got a lot of high ground, a lot of angles you can take, and that Widow can be really deadly, especially on this first point.
Yeah, and well, we talked about some of the communication that we've seen, and if the communication is there between the Mei and the Widow and they're frozen, everyone loves a target that's standing still, including these two over here, Commando and McMahon. Definitely. So McMahon's pulled ahead here for the elims on King's Row. But obviously nothing to scoff at. We saw Commando's 40 elims previously, so.
Yeah, McMahon not forced to be on the Mei any longer. a little more freedom to frag out and lay into the enemy team. And I love the weapon accuracy is only 5% difference between the two. Like McMahon is either he's getting just right up next to them so it's impossible to miss, or he is a sniper on that Junkrat. And I like to think it's the second one, but
I've met a couple Junkrat players, and one of them is a little slow on the tracking, and it seems to just work out perfectly with the lag on, when it bounces in. So it just perfectly compensates for that. Obviously, these guys here, we saw him just lobbing concussion mines straight into the faces of Mercies and other backline players who are his unfortunate victims. But he putting in a lot of work. 5% on Junkrat. Junkrat players don't care. They know that's not the name of the game for them. So it's the big tires. Those were nasty.
Yeah, it's that damage number. That's what you really want to see is the Junkrat. You're on a map and you're killing things. That's fine. Final blows. That's fine. I want that big gold medal in that damage column if I'm on Junkrat. And McMahon definitely getting away with that so far.
Totally. And well, DePaul needs to do something to keep some of these DPS players in check from spin to win. They're basically just free firing on a day with no wind from the range, and they're having a lot of success. McMahon on the Junkrat, I don't know how they're going to mitigate that damage very well, especially with the change over to the Widowmaker and Mei. I don't know how they're going to block all those mines. They're going to have to hopefully get lucky and just get the pick that gives them that opportunity to move forward. They've got the Mercy too, so that damage boost definitely a bit of a cushion as far as how precise you always have to be with your shots.
I think the idea with the Widow is that if McMahon is in spawn, he can't be killing your team. So if you can take those off angles, they don't have the Diva, so they can't contest you on the high ground this time. They don't have the Sigma for that second shield. So really Zarya can give a fellow kid or McMahon a bubble, decide who they want to save and who they want to let die. And it looks like we are going to be jumping back into the fight here as they have managed to get their ringer. But a fellow kid and Trojan really just cleaning this fight up.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if that Widowmaker is going to find those off angles. McMahon could jump. Oh, there it is! Ask and you shall receive. The opening pick comes through for Farton Spartan. And I'm so sorry, Farton Spartan. Just deleted right after your beautiful pick onto... Man, sorry about that, man.
Yeah, you get in there, you find the pick on the Widow as you've made the swap, and then immediately there's a Junkrat tire in your face. Not really much you can do, but there's the second pick as Tetra does take out McMahon, and Farton Spartan takes out Commando, so it looks like DePaul University are going to be able to take the fight here, probably take this first point on the back of that, as Farton Spartan already has the sights here for the Widowmaker. The ultimate ability does come out, and King Scar, the rock to the face, you're taken out of this fight, the fellow kid. Not going to last much longer. Trojan, though, is going to commit the grab here and catch 4 and kill 1, and the Nano has to be committed to save Gay Goats there, but it's not going to last as McMahon does come back in the backline, and McMahon with 2! McMahon, you cannot make this happen. This shouldn't be allowed. It's not... Okay, there's 1. There's 3 for McMahon so far. They're just looking for this off-tank now as the supports are down, and they make this happen. Heroics from the Junkrat on that fight.
Oh, yeah.
That should have been a lost point.
I really thought DePaul was going to have it there. They looked so good on that last fight, and then... McMahon coming in, getting the kills. We saw a little bouncing around for that last bit on the Ana. Probably could have walked up and just given her a gentle breath to take off those last 2 health points. But just complete insanity coming through. I can't believe they held that so well on the first point. Only just a little bit of cap beyond the second tick.
Yeah, I've got to say there's an irony to calling Junkrat gentle. In anything he does. Just a gentle little tap on the Ana when he's like full punching with the melee and he throws like explosive mines as his abilities and uses like a bear trap to catch it. I love just the idea of Junkrat just being, he's so gentle.
That also shows you how vulnerable the other player is, right? If a leaf brushed by a little too rough, done. Commando wins the Widow duel though out of the gate. Good thing Farton Spartan's brought back to the fight though.
Ooh, yeah, but McMahon gonna put the pressure on the Farton Spartan, and the damage is onto Tetra already. The Diva is being pulled out here for DePaul Black, but Farton Spartan taken down. Our fellow kid's just gonna walk into that back line. Tetra takes him down with the charge, but this looks like Spinduit have already spun and won.
Yeah, that was a very quick push there and very successful for their first one. McMahon was so aggressive once again. I mean, I know you mentioned that they didn't have a Diva to fly at the Widow, but with a McMahon on your team, he'll just jump to your face and it feels like he's flying anyways. This has to be his tire, right?
It has to be the tire.
Yeah.
It's the tire, yeah. And he's got
So
the drop
filthy.
tech here. He knows that it'll spawn on the ground. Oh, it didn't spawn on the ground. Interesting. Looks like he was going for the drop tech, but still just a clean 5K. What are you supposed to do there?
Nice and simple, right over the Rhine shield into the back line. Pretty much just bringing us back to very beginning basic Overwatch of what we saw Junkrat tires roll through. Nowadays we also see a lot of wall climbing, stalling in the corner, but that one just straight bomb on the top as they're walking out. Totally caught him off guard.
Yeah, someone should check in on Spinduin because I think Jaco W is playing on their team. I don't think that's. I think McMahon's been replaced for that second map, but yeah, that incredible showing from them, and I can't wait to see them come up against some of the other teams in their pool because they're in a pool with teams like Initial Drift, formerly Attack Mode. That's a matchup I want to see now. Watching Spinduin be so dominant, I want to see them play Initial Drift, and that's going to be a heck of a match. I cannot wait to see that. And honestly, they look like serious contenders just off of the back of that dominant showing.
Totally. Well, their DPS alone definitely putting in just hordes of work and getting the kills on the mechanic side. That's what's really important. And supporting the team. I've talked about that over and over. The enablement there from the team. It seems like they have a lot of trust in the fact that I know that you're capable and competent at your role, and I have faith that you will fulfill those duties so I can go and wreak havoc in my duties. Yay. But DePaul's not out of this yet. This is a double elimination style tournament. So they're going to move over to the other bracket and have a chance to basically fight their way back up and have a shot at that $1,000 prize pool, which, of course, big thanks to our sponsors for, helping get all that together. We have the Overwatch Tranquility Group, the Ignited GG server, and of course, Elo Hell on those stats. We saw those crazy amount of elims, and numbers don't lie, folks.
Yeah, Elo Hell especially giving us all those numbers that we can use to back up all of our talk, because sometimes we as casters like to say that watching this player or watching this team is a blast and we get to watch some of the best Overwatch. But when you got the numbers to back it up, when you can see that McMahon has indeed done 12k damage or however much it was in a 2-point game, or you can see that Commando has hit 40 elims in a 2-point control match, like that means a lot. And so having those stats really is wonderful for us as casters.
Totally.
We can have some validity in what we say on the stream.
Right. Well, it really shows just how strong their back muscles are from carrying all the time is. They probably work out all the time.
A fellow kid would take some offense to that. They put in some serious work on that Reinhardt as well.
That's true. That's true. I totally, you know what? I take that back on that front. You're right up there.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to get into our next match soon, but man, Spin to Win, I can't wait to see them. But DePaul Academy Black, I do think they're going to have a bit of a sleeper run through this losers bracket because they did something that I didn't expect in this tournament, which is they ran some off-meta comps. They ran the Hagen Ball. They ran like Ryan Zarya, where you'd expect Ryan Diva with the Reaper instead of the McCree.
Yeah,
and
that was big.
Teams that aren't going to be prepared for that. I think Spin to Win, they know what they're doing. They're really good at what they do, and they've got the lock on that brawl comp really just down pat. But they're going to come up against some teams that aren't going to be prepared for those off meta comps, and I think DePaul Academy, they're going to have a good showing against those teams.
Yeah, and if people are ready for the type of team style that you're going to play, they can definitely, anticipate your moves. If you're a batter and the pitcher's going to throw it straight up the midline every time, it's a matter of you actually making the connection to hit the ball out of the field. But we're going to see some curveballs coming out from places like DePaul or, the screwballs where it's just straight there. And that type of diversity is definitely something that they have that they can bring to the table to throw other people off as they try to come back to, the championship bracket here. And let's see. So moving on, though, we do have our next match that'll be starting in just a little bit. It's going to be the Rolling Ronalds facing off against Vortex. This is also our Group D area, so a little bit new as far as the teams in this pool. And, we've had a lot of exciting games back and forth. I know they've been 2-0s, but that's not always accurate as far as the action that really happened and, some of the hot highlights we saw. So I'm excited to see what's going to be coming up next. But folks, we will catch you on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So hydrate up and see you soon.
The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Landlords Gaming, Toronto's casual and competitive esports organization. Check them out on Twitter at Landlords Gaming.
The sky. Every strength to divide us. Gave it all we got, and I know we did the best we could. If I could go back, undo the mess, I would memorize your face before I go. But this is how we go. Gotta give it up, sometimes let's go. And knowing when to kill your pride. There's no one to Take me back to the nights we felt alive, picking up the pieces on a summer night. I didn't know that I would feel just like my heart's on fire whenever I'm with you. Cause we go back in time to thrills I miss and all the things I wish we did. All I know is that I need somebody like you. Cause I can't waste another night sitting here alone, hoping for your voice on the telephone. I know it's a supercut as you walk away, playing in my mind all the things I never close my eyes and the sky's on fire. I can't waste another night sitting here alone. We can do it all again and I'll never let you go. On the telephone, I know it's a supercut as you walk away, playing in my mind all the things I never close my eyes and the sky's on fire. I can't waste another night sitting here alone. We can do it all again and I'll never let you go.
The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Ignited.gg, a community that works to foster a positive gaming space by hosting teams, tournaments, and weekly events. Go to Ignited.gg or on Twitter at Ignited.gg. The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Overwatch Tranquility, a community that fosters a positive environment for Gold through Masters teams to embrace the competitive spirit of Overwatch. For more information, check out owtranquility.org. And welcome back to the Will English Invitational. Again, my name is Will English IV. We've got Waffles, we've got Bard, and we've got one more match for the last part of the night. And we just saw Spin to Win go against Topal Academy Black, and it's just Spin to Win, Kane to win. Imagine right now the feeling of their team. They were one win away from getting into the Invitational last time around in the field of 16, and now they just get their first win in the second one. So what about a redemption story for that?
Yeah,
absolutely crazy for them.
They look scary. That's a team you don't want to play against.
No, not at all. And I'm back in the scenes watching the McCree, like our commando, and the McCree is just like, my goodness. We've had a couple of McCrees pop off tonight, just this wrecking shop. And what do you do about that? What can you do about that?
You can sometimes you can contain people, but you can't shut them down. And that's really all these people can hope to do against those McCrees, is just contain them. There's no shutting them down. But if you can mitigate or minimize some of the effect they're having, maybe you'll stand a chance.
Maybe. Well, here's our last match of the night, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's been an exciting ride so far, and this is only Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. But we've got Rolling Ronalds and Vortex, the last match of the evening. So we'll see what they can show us. Well, Waffles and Bard, thank you so much for sticking around all afternoon, or all evening, I should say. And I'll let you do your jobs and get back to the game. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. So we are going to get into this next match. It's going to be Rolling Ronalds versus Vortex. And these two teams coming from completely different places. Rolling Ronalds, a team that I believe was started during the last Overwatch Tranquility season before this one. And Vortex, I don't know as much about them coming into this, but both of these teams, they are competing for a pretty considerable prize pool in T3 and T2. And Waffles, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, these teams are competing for a $1,000 prize. So definitely a lot on the line, especially for those of us here in the T2, T3 scene. And, you know, we have to have a big thanks to the sponsors and partners who helped us create such a great event here as the Invitational. Overwatch Tranquility and Ignited bringing in a lot of support, as well as EHE bringing us all the stats you're going to see about these players in the games. I know we talked about this before earlier, Bard, but dang, it's great to see that the numbers are there, and you know, you can't really argue with the facts of the stats.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I dread as a caster is hyping up a player as we go, and then like the next day someone posts like a stat sheet, or I see the cards at the end of the game and they're just nowhere to be seen. Or even worse, when you don't hype a player up and then you find out that they had some ridiculous stat at the end of the game that you absolutely should have been. So Elohel doing a fantastic job of helping us hype the right people up. And we're going to be jumping into Busan as our first map. So hopefully we get to see some hype plays the same that we did in the last match.
Totally. I mean, as much as we're going to love the stats we see, remember, they don't always catch every little cool thing that goes on. I wish there was a stat to show how many ultimates our divas have been eating today, because that would definitely be one that's on the board regularly from our diva players. So, you know, we'll have to see if they can continue the trend here. We mentioned the McCrees have been on fire, and, well, maybe these teams will continue living up to that.
Yeah, as this first fight goes in, the wall's going to come out. We are going to be seeing the diva from IC or Icy pushing in here, and there's the first pick going to be coming out here for the side of Vortex as they push in. That McCree fight is going to be going in the favor of Vortex, and there is Icy again getting that second pick onto Mist, and Rolling Ronalds are just going to be sent back to the spawn room after just 2 picks on this first fight.
We talked about how the McCrees were popping off, and pretty much that spoke for itself there on that first fight, with Roken getting a lot of value. And, well, there's the Amp Matrix already online for Vortex.
Yeah, the Immortality Field forced to be used early from Kesa Wolf, and Pinhead's going to be taken down as Risk just walks in with that hammer swinging. Mist goes down as well, and Risk just looks dominant already on this Reinhardt.
Yeah, this is tough for Rolling Ronalds. They are pretty much behind in ult economy on all fronts. So Vortex here going to have a lot of resources to be able to commit, and Rolling Ronalds going to be looking to bait them out so they have a very solid chance of maybe engaging better on this next one or the one after.
Yeah, and they're going to take some unique pathing here in the Shatter. It's so big from Risk. He drops 4 to the ground, and Roku takes out Kesa Wolf. The Immortality Field was there to save them, as Void Kit's going to follow up onto that Blizzard and take out Risk, and Bandit's going to take out Roku, but Deep gets taken out by Icy, but Bandit, not going to matter. Him and Pinhead going back and forth, but Frostbite with 2! The May just clicking on heads with those icicles, and now it's just Pinhead and Bandit trying to clear the point against Praise Me and Frostbite, but Bandit with the environmental kill knocks Praise Me off the map and takes out Frostbite, and now it is just Risk trying to stay alive. Not going to last for much longer, but that's a significant amount of the point capped for Vortex.
Yeah, a lot of possession capped for Vortex, but all in all, huge props to Rolling Ronalds. They have 4 ultimates online, and they were going into that behind, and now they're ahead in ult economy, so it's theirs to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the Deadeye coming out from Void Kit, catching one as Bandit catches the other. Roku and Icy both taken out of this fight as the Immortality Field has been used, but it's not going to matter because Void Kit walking in on that McCree is looking very dangerous.
Vortex is only going to have Shatter online coming up, so it might be a bit of a dry push, or at least a poke phase coming through before. We can see here that, well, that 57% weapon accuracy from Void Kit is super nasty.
Yeah, and Void Kit already taking Icy out of the map, taking that D.Va mech out. And Baby D.Va, you know, it can do a lot of damage with that pistol, but not what you want to be using as you engage into such a dangerous choke point. And Deep here just going to continue to commit those fire strikes until they have that Shatter. And I want to see it's the dueling Reinhardt Shatters here as Deep is going to walk through. And there's the freeze. The Blizzard comes out, takes Risk out of the game. Roku manages to trade Mist, but the Shatter is there. And the Immortality Field not going to come out on time due to the fact that Sketch is on the ground with their ankles broken. And Rolling Ronalds, they've turned this around.
You said it. They turned it around and have definitely shown us a lot different playstyle than the first fights they had. And, well, all in all, I'm pretty sure Risk got frozen mid-Shatter. So big props over there to Mystics.
Yeah, Mystics doing a lot of work on this May, and just
denied.
like that, the wall from Frostbite's going to block Void Kit from getting the full value, but it's not going to matter. Void Kit getting 2, including the mech. That is huge coming out from them, and it is a big push here as Bandit and Void Kit are just going to continue to clean up, and Rolling Ronalds off to a rocky start, but it looks like they are going to be able to win this first point. The contest is coming out here from Praise Me, from Icy, and Kesa Wolf is not going to let it last for very long as Bandit's going to take down Icy, and Rolling Ronalds, they turn it around to cap this first point.
Well, the thing with Control is that, you know, there's a lot of ult economy that goes into whether or not you have won or lost the first fight, and Rolling Ronalds were definitely behind in that economy and managed to win a fight with minimal resources, then continue to hold the point, utilizing their minimal resources for defense and rotating their ultimates around very smoothly. So I think they did a great job at just coming back from their initial lack of resources and being behind to, like we saw, win the first point. So it's definitely going to be up to Vortex to bring it all here, since it is map point for Rolling Ronalds.
Yeah, and an interesting choice of comps for both these teams, as they are going to run the ball comps. But Rolling Ronalds with the Lucio are going to be able to get to the point first and take a fight contest here just so much farther up than the side of Vortex. The stun does count on a Bandit, but Deep just follows through, swinging that hammer with reckless abandon, takes out Roku. It does happen to let Icy get the trade onto Pinhead, but it looks like Rolling Ronalds are going to be able to cap the point first. Mystics taking out Risk as Praise Me goes for the res onto Roku, and Rolling Ronalds, they've secured this, and it looks like Vortex don't want to take the fight here yet, but they have caught Bandit, so maybe they do as they start pushing in here. Icy looking for the picks, getting that damage in, and Mystics has to play a lot more carefully. The stun comes out, but not quite the pick, and the Immortality Field has to be committed for Quesawolf here as they look around and just see critical targets everywhere. Risk is going to finally take Kesa out of their misery. They can't worry about their team if they are in the spawn room, and Bandit getting a double kill, turning this back around for Rolling Ronalds as Mystics and Void Kit are just going to clean this up.
Wow, Rolling Ronalds doing a great job at dragging out the fight to be long enough for their team to come back and for them to be at full strength. Pinhead got picked early and they gave him a little space. They know he was going to come back obnoxiously fast on that Lucio O, and then they struck when the time was right. Oh, Frostbite sneaky on this Tracer. Who's the pulse victim?
Ooh, it looks like it's going to be Void Kit, but the Immortality Field from Case
so
came out just on time, and Mystics not going to miss. There's what they are! The shield from Icy, are you kidding me? Forces Mystics to take themselves back to the spawn room, and now Vortex, they just start cleaning this up as it's just Deep and Vandit, it looks like, left in this as Deep goes down to Roku. Vandit might go for the stall here. Looks like, yes, they are going to, but I don't think it's going to last, especially when you take a boulder to the face like that.
A mid-air boulder, nonetheless, and honestly, I think that play from the Sigma forcing Tracer to kill herself with her pulse bomb, that's my favorite highlight of the day. You cannot write gold like that. I see you for sure, my dude.
For sure, and now it looks like Rolling Ronald's going to be walking in here from that Bell side from the Sanctuary. Deep clearly looking for a shatter here and gets it as they take down Icy, and the Transcendence is going to be committed from Sketch to keep their team alive, and they get the pick onto Mystics, going in looking for that pick as Risk finishes off Deep and Bandit, and Risk looking like they are in fact the most dangerous tank on the map so far.
Bard, this feels a bit like deja vu, but with the teams flipped. 79%, and now the team who was behind has point and is doing really well and holding strong on the defensive. I think we're going to go to the third map, dude.
Yeah, I think we're getting close here to that as Sketch on this Zenyatta has really been able to show off with these long-range damage orbs and close-range damage orbs taking out Mystics, but Rolling Ronalds, they're going to be walking onto the point here, and it looks like they really want to look for the engage as quickly as possible. They have swapped over to the Torbjorn for Mystics. Bandit eating that pulse bomb. That is a huge eat. Roku is going to catch Pinhead, but Void is going to trade out Risk, which might be the bigger pick, but Icy takes out Void, and there's Frostbite taking out Quesawolf, but Rolling Ronalds, during this time, they managed to actually switch the objective point over into their favor. Now Bandit just gonna stall this out as long as possible and get this into a one fight territory, and now Deep gonna help their team set up here, and Rolling Ronalds, they're set up for a win if they can win this next fight.
Yeah, one fight territory for them for sure, and they've got the Shatter High Noon to potentially lay Vortex out, but Vortex has their own ultimates online, and they're not going to roll over quietly. You have that Trance online, and that could just shut down so much incoming damage. And the High Noon's popped early as well.
Ooh, Void Kit walking in with that High Noon, and there it is, Roku popping a High Noon of their own, but Void Kit just takes them out of this fight. Void Kit is showing the prowess on this McCree, but it's not going to matter because the rest of the team is there for Vortex to keep them in this match and to keep them in this map, and it looks like we are going to be going to downtown as Vortex secure Sanctuary.
Wow, it is deja vu. We have these teams really pushing the point percentage cap to the limit for both sides, and this time it was even closer than the last one. it seems like both of these teams are really starting to adapt and understand some of the bigger threats coming through. I do feel like Roku was shut down a lot better on that most recent map, and Void Kid had a little more free range, as well previously I feel like it was the other way around. They got to put Frostbite in their place, though. Frostbite was just wreaking havoc on that Tracer, and well, their switch over to the Mei hopefully still yields the same results.
Yeah, and it is going to be a pretty interesting fight here because Rolling Ronalds, they've won this first map on this comp, and as they engage here, they need to win this first fight just to secure themselves that position. And Roku, though, with a couple dinks in a row and that flashbang hitting Mystics, is going to be doing enough damage, and both teams really just forced to kite out of the way of the other team. No one wants to get caught behind those Mei walls that can really ruin your day and your tempo here. As Voidkit and Roku just fighting off to the side, they want this, and the window coming out first for Sketch, that's very good, built incredibly quickly, and now Praise Me is going to leave their team behind to capture this objective point, as Wolf is going to commit a window of their own. Icy going to be demeched, and the Immortality Field is not going to last, as Bandit and Pinhead are going to clean this up, and Praise Me going to catch the objective point, not going to catch the fight win here, as Vortex are going to be sent back to the spawn room.
As a Mei, it feels so good to freeze a Reinhardt mid-pin. Gotta love to see it, and well, Mystics already has their Blizzard online. It's going to be up to these divas to really try to eat and mitigate those ults. We saw Vanda eat the Pulse Bomb. Like I said before, man, I wish Ultimate Eats were a diva stat.
Yeah, and Voidkit committing that Deadeye early on. Sketch forced to use the Immortality Field, and the Shatter's just going to slow Vortex right down, and so is that wall. You don't want to be caught on the other side of that. Luckily, Icy was a diva and could fly away from there, but this fight looking like it has already gone in the way of Rolling Ronalds, and all they need to do is just hit W and clean this up. But Vortex, I think they're going to wait for that mech to come back online.
Mystic's doing a great job with those walls, just forcing Vortex to change their plan, their pace, and their tempo of engagement.
Ooh, speaking of Mystics getting that Blizzard out, the Immortality Field is going to save Risk only for a second as that Mei wall cuts it off, and that's a clean 3k on the back of that as Praise Me decides that the train is better than the enemy team.
And a train death is also one that doesn't give the enemy team ult charge, so a tactical dying there from him. But Vortex is going to have a lot of ultimates online. Rolling Ronalds only has 3, but that might be plenty for them to continue to repel Vortex's assault, especially with the Mei walls. Oh man.
Oh, Void Kick catching Sketch as well on that. The window is used, but Sketch actually get walled up into the sky as the window came out there, so it couldn't be used by their team, and that's a fantastic Mei play from this team.
Oh, and a bit unlucky for Sketch there too.
Oh no, Risk got stunned by Voidkit out of the shadow. Voidkit is going insane on this map. He knew that the last map should not have been a loss for his team, and he wants to secure this one up, being in a good wall to shut that down, and a dink from the Icicle to take Mystics out of the game, as it is just left up to Sketch to touch the objective point, but that is not going to last. Risk managing to get back on the Wrecking Ball, but I don't think anyone else is going to be able to touch as Roku gets taken down, and it looks like Rolling Ronalds, they're going to take map 1.
Really clean fighting coming out from Rolling Ronalds on that most recent map. Much better than their previous encounters with the other team, and well, it goes to show they went 100% to 14%, so everything seemed to be a lot tighter, crisper, and the communication as far as who it's time to collapse on was there, and that definitely showed. There was almost no opposition from Vortex on that last map because Rolling Ronalds was so aggressive and, well, stopping Vortex in their tracks with that wall, the Mei wall. Not everyone was always dying right after the wall was put up, but in order to break the wall and reunite your team, they're pumping in a lot of resources, and that's time burned off the clock, which in Control, that also means possession for you and your team while you have the point. And that means when you want to engage and actually throw an ultimate, not just a normal cooldown ability like the wall, it's that much more impactful because you've drained their resources to jump in on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you mentioned earlier as a May, there's nothing more fun than freezing a Reinhardt out of charge. Second to that is walling a Reinhardt off from their team and just watching all 5 of your teammates just collapse on them. That is probably my favorite part of playing May. It's just a Reinhardt who thinks they have all the room in the world to escape, and then the wall pops up behind them, and suddenly they hit the wall, and there's no facial expressions in Overwatch, but if there were, there'd be a dawning horror and realization.
Oh, yeah.
As 5 people are walking on you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
That would be a great addition from Blizzard. So Reinhardt skins without any, without his helmet on. If he bumps into a Mei wall behind, he looks surprised.
Oh yeah, or just
then he
terrified
goes,
or sad, or
yeah,
any emotion except happy.
Yeah, as soon as you've been walled off, it's game over. And that's the big threat of the Mei wall. And honestly, I'm not surprised that we're going to see it rolling out here on King's Row. There's nothing better than sectioning off someone else to be singled out on the enemy team. And there's a ton of areas where you can do that. Vortex's switch onto the Doomfist, though, gonna reduce some of that effectiveness, but not gonna be a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're also going to be running the Zarya here, so they want these fights to go longer. Just look for picks before engaging, but the walls here coming out from Mystic's going to make it very hard for that to happen. And now, with no shield, Risk is going to be at risk and then sent back to the spawn, and Sketch's Immortality Field not going to be on time to save them. And Void Kit as well, catching Roku on the way back to that spawn room to regroup, so just making the trip a little faster for you.
So Deep's Earth Shatter is 91% charged, and I don't think Vortex is going to be ready for it to be online for this next fight.
Absolutely not. And they still look like they're playing for these picks to look for this, and that's a good bubble on Frostbite from Icy to keep them up, and that's going to be Caseable and Void Kit being taken out. Mystics soon to follow, and Deep also going to go out here without being able to even use that Shatter as their team just got cleaned up too quickly.
Wow, I really thought Deep would pull the trigger early on that Earth Shatter and essentially shut down Vortex before they even had a chance to engage, but he was picked off. Vortex did a great job, and you called that bubble out, which was outstanding coming through from IC, and Mystics gets a pick. It doesn't matter though. Even though Rolling Ronalds gets a bunch of kills in their favor, Vortex is gonna have the spawn advantage, and they managed to cap the point. That doesn't mean that it's going to be easy for them to leave spawn, though, because we actually saw someone get spawn camped here earlier today, Bard.
Yeah, and is King's Row a Junkrat map now? Have I missed something? Because
it was earlier.
Junkrats we've seen, today have absolutely just been going crazy. So maybe we add this to the list alongside Hanamura, and us Junkrat mains can be happy about something again.
The damage coming through from him has been monstrous.
Absolutely, and we are going to see Roku trying to get that Deadeye off. Is not going to happen. Mystic's going to shut them down, as Vandit is actually going to stop them with the defense matrix. Icy's going to trade out on Mystics, so this is almost an even fight, and it's definitely winnable, but Vandit committing that bomb is going to force them into bad positions here. Going to get traded out by Roku. Roku going crazy here, taking out Void Kid as well, and Pinhead the only one who gets a pick for Rolling Ronalds. Vortex, they turned that around right quick.
Yeah, not much time burned off of the clock from Vortex's perspective. I'm sure Rolling Ronalds was wanting to do a little more, but Roku went complete avatar state that last fight and wiped everyone out of the way. It's going to be hectic next fight, though. We have so many ultimates online, and they're going to be slinging them out left and right to try to prevent the Streets phase capture of Vortex.
Yeah, absolutely, and a little bit Avatar Roku just on fire after that fight, and now pushing through here. Deep Oh, I could tell he wanted that shatter, but he's gonna wait. He's gonna be patient as Bandit takes down Icy. Now that there's no shield, this should be when the shatter comes out. Deep, don't let me down. It looks like it's not gonna be necessary, as they are actually gonna just force Vortex back here. And the beat is going to be committed instead to keep their team alive here. It looks like Frostbite needs to try and escape. They are going to use the ultimate to do that, but it's going to cost Sketch their life. The beat committed so that they can engage even without the Baptiste, and here comes the tire from Mystics just looking to get value, but it's just going to get taken down. However, it did draw the attention enough for Deep to catch Risk, and Deep also going to go deep and catch Roku, so Rolling Ronald's no fear here for them.
Yeah, huge turnaround for them. Honestly, that was a great use and holding of their resources, right? Waiting till the last moment to use them is definitely key. And in the game of Overwatch, if you use your ability second, you typically have the advantage because their advantage runs out sooner. So I'm going to be looking to see, how these amp matrices are going to be used between the Baptiste.
Ooh,
at the same time.
Very good. Oh, and they do trade him out. A great Immortality field to save almost their entire team for Sketch there, but Roku is going to be taken down after the Immortality falls by Voidkit, taking out both, and Voidkit catching Sketch as well. Really just putting on a clinic with this McCree, and they get the flashbang. They almost save themselves from Frostbite, but they do enough damage that Vandit can clean it up, and Mystics cleaned up the fight while they were busy.
Yeah, a little flashbang fan the hammer there. Very successful, but it's not going to be enough. Rolling Ronald's doing a fantastic job on this defensive end of holding this corner, and well, they're going to have Shatter and Bomb and Fire online. I don't know if Vortex is going to be able to handle the onslaught.
Yeah, as they do walk in here, the grab is going to come out uneaten. It's going to catch a lot of people, but not going to get any final blows, as Vandit is going to commit the bomb there. Mystics taking out Risk, as Pinhead really wanted the one duel with Icy, but Vandit's going to interrupt it and take them out as Voidkit trades down onto Roku, and Voidkit really has been doing wonders on this McCree so far.
Yeah, Vortex having a hard time also of just breaking through this defensive line that Rolling Ronalds has established. They are going to be coming up on a few ultimates themselves, but it's really going to be about, can they also avoid the Earth Shatter coming through, and getting picked early from Voidkit's High Noon is not helping their case. Another kill comes through for Voidkit, and after that, Rolling Ronald's just going to continue to rinse and repeat what they've been doing as far as pushing Vortex back and being aggressive. With only 10 seconds left, Bard, oh man, they need to make or break it.
Yeah, they're playing for the stall here, but it's not going to matter. Deep really looking for the shatter this time, and it looks like, it's going to go right into Risk's shield. That's not a shield break ability, Deep, but it's not going to matter because it looks like Rolling Ronalds, everyone else is just going to clean this up. Mystics with the tire, Voidkit with that revolver, and Wolf with that biotic rifle, just taking down the enemy team. And Rolling Ronald's going to stop Vortex about halfway through that second point. So really a wonderful showing coming out from both those teams. I don't know if it's a stat that we can get, but Deep really searching for those shatters, and when they landed, they really landed.
Yes, and the patience it takes to execute a shatter like that is, it's very difficult when you're in the thick of the battle and the heat of the moment. We saw one shatter get thrown directly into a shield, and you're right, not a shield break ability. And it's definitely really tough to time that Reinhardt dance between you two. There's some mental game involved and some animation canceling that I know everyone does as well. Something I definitely need to work on if I want to actually land shatters. But okay, I thought they were going to do the Bastion for a moment. Totally juked me out. I was going to be so surprised to see Voidkit off of the McCree that he's been putting all this great work into.
Yeah, Voidkit, famous for that McCree gameplay. Really knows how to bring it when it's needed for his team, and absolutely still doing that as he takes down Frostbite early here. The stun to save Wolf, and then the pick to actually send Frostbite back to that spawn room, and now it looks like Rolling Ronald's just going to walk his Voidkit, gets a second pick, taking out Roku. There's no DPS who are safe from Voidkit. The kid is nuts as he takes down Risk as well. Bandit taking out that immortality field. And this looks like a quick first point take for Rolling Ronalds.
Kesa Wolf already has that the amplification window online, and well, Pinhead completely supporting Deep through that push. You saw how quickly he was moving forward with his shield and allowing his teammates to continue peppering back, and they've already set up the Amp Matrix to take their first fight around between these two corners. A huge kill coming in from Deep as well on that Fire Strike to kick off this engagement. Vortex is going to have to do a soft regroup if they want to contest this last point, Bard.
Yeah, luckily Vandit is DMEC, so it is going to be a little easier to engage here without that DM to deny your damage, but I don't know, you've got to take Void Kid or Mystics out early here, and even then, Rolling Ronalds look dangerous.
And there's plenty of time on the clock for Rolling Ronalds to have a push where they force ultimates out of Vortex and then push with all of their own that are about to be online for themselves.
Yeah, there's gonna be the Deadeye. Praise Me does get taken down. And in the backline, Roku tries to get the Deadeye of their own, but Mystics just catches them with that tire. And I feel like that's a recurring pattern tonight here. Hit the DPS, looking to make some big plays, and then just a tire in their face. And Rolling Ronalds are going to be that rolling tire here as they've rolled the point into the final of this map, and they have won 2-0 against Vortex.
Oh, we got a BAP play of the game. Not something that we see very often. I mean, even in quick play, to be honest. Look at that, just absolute monstrosity, keeping his teammates alive himself, taking down the other BAP there. A little bit of a duel going on successfully. So, I mean, I love seeing those bloodthirsty supports. They don't get the limelight enough, and you know, it's never elims that are lighting up on their stat screen, unless of course you're Mercy, and then everyone goes, oh, there it is, the Battle Mercy.
I mean, Lucio can get those big boop
That's
plays.
True.
And BAP, usually it does come from those immortality fields. You save a couple people from those ultimates. Obviously, something like a Diva Bomb, if you save your whole team with an immortality field from a Diva Bomb, you have won the fight for your team. Like that's
or the Tracer Pulse Bomb, like we saw earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you throw a shield out on Sigma and make a Tracer blow themselves up.
That is my absolute favorite play of today. The fact that he timed it perfectly and pushed it back into her face. Like, what a shutdown, what a mental blow as far as having your own pulse bomb shoved back into your face for you to get sent back to your own spawn. And he definitely thought he had this. I thought he had the stick going in. And
yeah, I did too until he was dead. I was calling it. I was mid-call.
So huge props, of course, to, you know, all of these teams' reaction times and just overall game anticipation. It goes to show you that they are these T2, T3 contending teams, and well, they're here to really fight for that $1,000 prize.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vortex, they are still in this. They're going to be moving down to the losers bracket, while Rolling Ronalds are going to continue through the winners bracket. But Vortex, another team that I think they're just matching up against a team that's been playing for a little while. They really have the synergy you need for Maybrawl. I think Vortex do have a good chance going through that losers bracket at least. And I think that hopefully they'll be able to bring this back to the point where if they do see Rolling Ronalds again, it will be an even closer match than it was this time.
Yeah, it definitely will be. And, you know, all these teams are going back. They're doing their VODs of the games and the matches they had because they want to grow. They need to evolve if they're going to win. And that's really what it comes down to, is if they want to win, they're going to have to adapt and overcome so they can either climb back out of the, you know, losers bracket or continue on through their championship bracket, depending on which team. But I'm excited to see, you know, everybody who has lost a game today actually get that chance to come back and essentially have, you know, big turnaround underdog story of, you know, big growth coming through after a first loss, and boom, there's the throne for them. But, you know, we've got a lot of games coming up over the weekend. We had so much great Overwatch today, and, you know, a lot of teams going toe to toe for the whole map. And we've got a lot more coming up for you folks over the weekend. Tons more on the Overwatch side. And don't forget, we also have our other channel as well, and Tranquility, hosting some of our games. But tomorrow, make sure you check us out here at 6 p.m. CDT for more Overwatch and our next games coming up. Other than that, folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know you've been with me all night, and I greatly appreciate it. Bard, you were absolutely phenomenal to cast with today, and thank you so much for joining us as well. Big shout out, of course, to all of our production team and the Will English himself for putting on this fantastic tournament. And, a big thank you to our sponsors for helping bring this all together and really make the show incredible. We've got some great production things going on in the back, and definitely a great chance here for them to shine and show us all the magic that you see on the screen. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow, once again, 6 p.m. CDT, and don't miss the Overwatch.
The Will English Invitational is brought to you by Overwatch Tranquility, a community that fosters a positive environment for Gold through Masters teams to embrace the competitive spirit of Overwatch. For more information, check out owtranquility.org.